Let me just straighten that out. I have a much larger channel on Facebook. I have a much larger channel on Instagram and YouTube. So I'm trying to devote time to all of my platforms to help everyone with their hair growth. Now, if you guys don't know who I am, I'll tell you in just a moment. Thank you for my hearts. Let me get it together. I'm sorry because I got here a little bit late, trying to make sure I have all my notes. And everyone, if you can see, this is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about CCCA. We're going to be talking about the regions of the scalp. We're going to be talking about the reasons for hair loss. I'm going to be talking about education. So if you are a hairstylist and you want to be able to offer this type of training to your clients and to your customers, we're going to be talking about that too. So give me 1 second, everybody. All right, so everybody on TikTok, let me know if you can hear me okay. Everybody on IG, on Facebook, Instagram, let me know if you can hear me. I just want to make sure you all can hear me okay. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is LaRon Quarles, and I am a certified IHT trichologist here in Pleasantville, New Jersey. Now, I usually put little small bits and pieces on my YouTube, on my stories, on my shorts. I make long form videos. I have so many old long form videos on YouTube. I mean, they're old, but I have podcasts on there. I have stuff about your blood type, GLP-1s, minoxidil, finasteride. I have all kinds of stuff about your diet and your blood type. So my goal is to give you guys the ones and twos, the ins and outs, the what it takes to grow your hair well. And I'm going to talk about some key things today. If y'all have any questions, let me know. And I have some free gifts for those who stay to the end. Now, for my TikTok community, this live stream, I couldn't make it any shorter than 2 hours. TikTok was not letting me be any shorter than 2 hours. I kept trying to change it to an hour. I kept trying to change it to less than 2 hours. It had me up there for 2 hours and 45 minutes, but I'm going to keep this brief. I'm going to keep it to maybe like an hour. But if I'm getting good feedback, if I'm getting good questions and good answers, I don't have to be to church until 3 o'clock today. Our Kingdom Hall changed over its time. This is the first Sunday of the month, first Sunday of the year. So now we are switched to 3 o'clock. So I technically don't need to be anywhere till 3. All I have to do is eat. But I am here to help answer your questions. I want to just kind of go into a little bit of my background to tell you who I am and why I'm here. One of my coaches, I have 2 coaches. One of my coaches, Myron Golden, many of you may know who he is. Myron Golden says, don't nobody care about your story. They just want the information. They just want to know what you can do for them and how you can serve them. And my other coach, Russell Brunson, said, show people how you learned it and earned it. Show people how you came up with the information that allowed you to be here today. How did you get to come in contact with this information? So I have 2 schools of thought. So I'm going to talk about my story briefly because y'all don't care. Y'all just want some information. So I want to just share with you, I am 56 years old, about to be 57 in May. I have been a hairstylist since I was 18. I have done clients, I have done their daughters, I have done their sons, I have done their grandkids. That's a long time to be standing behind the chair. Now, it's been almost 40 years because I love what I do. I also graduated from Richard Stockton University in 2002. I was pregnant with my daughter. I was in my early 30s. I was about to turn 34. Got my degree from Richard Stockton University. Got a degree in finance. However, I got the degree in finance because My parents and everyone said that you need to go to school and get a degree. However, with me having problems with attention and focus, I was one of those special students. I always had problems with attention and focus. I didn't do well with tests. I didn't perform well in a classroom setting. I didn't do well in a classroom. I did well with my hands. So I got the degree from my parents. My parents said go to school. I struggled through school. Anyone with attention and focus and clarity issues, back then they just called you a bad kid. I had ADD and ADHD. I still have remnants of it today, and it makes it really hard for me working a regular job. It's extremely hard for my husband because he can't seem to figure out why I can't focus on one thing, why I gotta have stuff all over the table, why my side of the room is not clean and neat like his. I have had better success being a cosmetologist and an educator, standing behind the chair where I can focus on a lot, versus working in finance and in the insurance industry, because that's what I got my degree in. But it has helped me in my business. So I say all that to say I have been in the beauty industry for almost 40 years. It's at the tail end where I no longer offer new services. I don't do new blow drying curls. I don't do relaxers. I don't even want to do hair anymore because I feel like God has instilled these gifts in me. He has instilled a lot in me that I need to be able to share to a different community. The community who needs relaxers, blow drying curls, and sew-ins, they can go to the 1,000 other salons in our area of Atlantic County. I'm in the Atlantic City area of New Jersey, but there aren't many people who are certified trichologists, who are integrative functional practitioners, who are wellness specialists, who are going to give you the ones and twos and let you know why you are enduring with a painful scalp, with scarring alopecia, with thin hair, with problems with eczema and psoriasis and genetic disturbances and trauma to the scalp and exogenous issues. No one's going to tell you that unless they are deep in it and they're engrossed in it, such as someone like myself as a certified trichologist. I have devoted this phase of my life to helping clients like yourself, people like yourself, understand why you are losing hair, why your hair is having challenges, why you are going through it. I'm here to just share a little bit with you. Now, who is in the mood for a little story? If you can. Oh, Miss Marsha, let me put my glasses on. Lord, I can't see nothing. This presbyopia is something else. Miss Marsha Green Jackson said, "Good morning. Yes, I get it. Yes, ma'am." So I want to say hi to everybody here on TikTok and Instagram. I'm gonna go through and see if anybody left me any comments. I just want to say hi to everybody here on TikTok. Hi to everybody on IG, Facebook, and YouTube. And hey, everybody here on IG. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna keep toggling back and forth to make sure that I see your comments. Good morning, Miss Libby Meadows. If you guys have any questions for me, we're going to answer them here now. I want to say this. Thank you, 28 Roses. Thank you for that. What I want to say to everyone is, and I thank you for the number of people who are on here right now, because I kept putting this up every other day. Join me, join me, join me here at 8 o'clock. Join me, join me. I kept saying this to everybody. Join me here at 8 o'clock. I am not God. I am an imperfect man who serves a perfect God. The only perfect person was Jesus. So I'm not perfect. So you're not getting perfection today. You're getting information. Do I know everything? No. But I know enough to be able to assist you. And if I don't know something, believe me, I'm going to get right up in your email and your text message, and I'm going to find out how to give you that information. So if it's something that I don't know today, I'm going to make sure that I relay it to you at a later date. I don't know everything, but I know enough to be able to serve your needs. Now, I became a certified trichologist in 2016. I became a certified trichologist in 2016, and then I began my study of holistic practicing. So I was able to get skilled in how to serve people holistically, how to use red light therapy, how to use mesotherapy, how to use EMF mats, how to use auriculotherapy, face mapping, Chinese medicine. Because what I have been finding is 99% of the people here on earth want quick fixes. They want medication. They just want to solve their problems like this. There are other ways to skin a cat. There are other ways to help you deal with whatever it is that you're dealing with without having to use medication, without having to think that it's over. It's not always over. As long as you have breath in your lungs and God wakes you up every day, your body is still regenerating. Your cells are still regenerating themselves. The fact is, you need to learn what to do so that you can restart whatever it is that you're lacking in. Restart it, regenerate it, and get this ball rolling. As long as you are alive, there are things that you can do. So today I'm talking about hair growth, but from a holistic point of view. I started training with the holistic practitioners of trichology. We call them trichologists on a mission. They are on Facebook, they're on Instagram, but we're a group of trichologists and practitioners who learns new ways to address issues holistically, without medicine, without drugs and shots. There is a way to be able to restore your hair naturally once you understand what is draining your body, what is the cause for your issue. If you attack it holistically and topically with services on the outside and work on your body on the inside, you're able to turn some things around. You don't always have to use drug therapy, medications. You don't always have to use shots. Are they useful? I come on here all the time. I post on my YouTube. I post on my Facebook. I post on my TikTok. I post all the time. Yes, spironolactone, it works. Yes, biotin, it does work. Yes, minoxidil, it does work. But what are the side effects? What's the other side of that? So I want you to all understand there are plenty of ways to skin a cat. Plenty. There's no one perfect way to skin a cat. The fact is, skin the cat. Learn what your body needs and just use it. Just use it. Use more of it. Some of the things I get all the time is, I don't want to take nothing else. I'm on medication. I don't want to take nothing. If you have that kind of thought process, you probably don't need to be here, because we're going to talk about many of the body systems and many of the issues that plague us, that give us hair loss to begin with. If you have that mode of thought that you don't need to change, that you don't need to do anything, that it doesn't take work, you shouldn't even be here right now. So today I'm going to be covering very briefly, I'm going to go over kind of each of these briefly. My goal is to talk to you more about CCCA, and the book is in my TikTok store. If any of you are on TikTok here, if you want to know more about CCCA, I have a book in the TikTok store called CCCA and Scarring Alopecia. For those of you here on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I have a book about CCCA. For you on Instagram, I have a book about CCCA. Now, this tells you all about some of the reasons behind CCCA, how it happens, some of the types of CCA that we incur, what you'll be able to do at home, what you're going to incur when you visit your dermatologist, some of the things that they can do for you. But it's just some helpful information. There are varying types of CCCA, and I'm going to go through some of them because I'm going to spend some time talking about CCCA. But if anyone here has CCCA, or they've been to their dermatologist and the one second, give me 1 second, I'll answer that. If any of you have been to the dermatology, you had CCCA, this is your chance to listen up. Now, I just got a question that said, what type of consultations do you offer? I offer health and wellness consultations. I offer hair and scalp consultations. Dr. Nicole, thank you for joining me today. The consultations that we offer are centered around hair loss. We're asking everything that would be applicable to anyone's situation, because when you have varying types of hair loss, we ask you questions about your, I would say, 11 body systems, and how we can kind of narrow down some of the reasons why we see what we see. So we offer hair and scalp consultations, and we offer health and wellness consultations, because I'm a health and wellness specialist. So many of the things that my market experiences, all they need is just a little bit of help to point them in the right direction. I'm also an integrated functional practitioner, so I work as an integrative specialist as well. When I see different things that are red lights for me, first thing I do is write my notes, give my clients a letter, because they're not patients. I'm not a doctor or nurse. I give them a letter. I tell them, go have this checked out, because based on their BCA, based on their scans that we perform here in our center, this gives me cause for concern. Go see your nephrologist. Go see someone to talk about your hepatic situation. Go see someone to talk about your digestive and your intestinal situation. Go see someone about your circulatory health. Go see your dermatologist. So I work in different capacities. So when you ask what kind of consultations do I perform, I perform hair and scalp consultations and health and wellness consultations, because I'm an integrated functional practitioner. And when you do that, when you see things, you make recommendations. So I am not a doctor. What I do is stay in my lane. When I see something that applies to the hair and scalp, then I'm helping you make decisions based on your hair and scalp. So I'm going to answer some questions here on Facebook. So good morning, Miss Felicia Thomas. Good morning, Miss Sharon. Okay, give me 1 second, Miss Kay. Good morning, Miss Felicia Thomas. And you said you did ESG surgery. That did that help the occasional, or did it cause some thinning? Please open that up for me. I don't know what ESG surgery is, and I don't want to have to divert away and go on Google and look. Write that out for me. No code words. What is ESG surgery? So that I can be more familiar with your question. Let me see. Let me scroll down. See. Okay. So you just asked me something. Now I can't find the question. You just sent me a question. What was the question? Okay, I don't see it. Where's the question? You just asked me a question. Now I can't find it. I saw it come up on my screen and see it. Send me that question, because it came up on my page and I could do different in the question. I can't see. That's what I want to questions here on Instagram. Okay, I'm going back. All right. So let me see if anybody left me anything on YouTube. I just want to make sure I answer everybody's question. I don't want anyone to think that no. Okay, great. No questions here. So I have the majority of questions coming from Facebook and TikTok. Okay. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to try to, when I see them, I can't access the questions. Like, they come up, but I don't see them. So if you have any more questions, just put them here. Okay. Similar to bypass surgery. All right. So I'm going to answer that question about bypass surgery, and then I'm going to get into the CCCA. Now, when you have the bypass surgery, I want you to understand there are other body systems that we as psychologists function. We as psychologists is on now. Okay. Okay, Kate said, what type of conversations you offer? The in the visit or in person? Okay, both. If you lost allocation for conversation via video only. Thank you for sending that to me. Okay. So, Felicia, will you affect one of your forever? You have affected two of your major body systems. The major body systems that are very, very, very important. All the body systems are important to hair growth. But when you affect these body systems, you will forever have problems with thinning hair. Now, that, in addition to everything else that is, in your life, I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. I haven't studied your particular needs. But what I want to share with you is, when you affect the digestive and the intestinal system, you are affecting how your nutrient absorption takes place in the stomach, how you digest food, and how you eliminate food. So you are affecting your major hormones that are in the gut. You are affecting how well you digest food, how you assimilate food. You have interrupted the flow of the digestive and the intestinal process for life. So anytime you do that, I tell all of my clients, when you have stomach surgery, your doctors, they don't care nothing about hair. They don't care nothing about your hair. They're not even going to mention that to you in that sort of fashion, that if you have this stomach surgery, you have this bypass surgery, you have sleep, you might, but they're not worried about that, because they're trying to help you save your life. They're trying to help you restore metabolic balance and wellness. They're trying to help you with your circulatory health. They're trying to help you with your blood sugar and your weight loss. They're trying to help save your life. They not about no hair. So once you have gastric bypass surgery, you're interrupting how the body works and how it needs to food, process food, assimilate it into hormones, be able to connect with the gut and the lung axis. Once you have already interrupted that, your hair will never grow back the way it did before you had your surgery. And I love, you're going to have to find some other alternative ways to be able to style your hair, non-surgical hair replacement, adding hair shades, whatever. But your hair will never be the same as it was before you had the surgery. In fact, two bodies, not just one, two. The ones that I'm most concerned with process, I'm worried about the lymphatic, or about the lymph. You all know lymphatic, digestive, intestinal, the immune, the respiratory, the integumentary nervous system, and the hepatic, the urinary, and the circulatory system. Once there is a problem or there's a chink in the armor with any of your systems, it is going to affect other systems, and that's where you have the issues with your hair, because your body is now unbalanced. So I just wanted to ask that question. So if you guys have any more questions for me here on TikTok, please let me know. I'm going to text. I want to make I don't see me here. I just want to let all of you know I'm going to start talking about CCCA. Now, again, what I was saying earlier, that if you have any questions about CCCA, I have a guide that gives you some information about how CCCA begins, what happens. This is in my TikTok store, or you have to go to my shop area, you'll find it. If you can't find this, I can send you a little bit later. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, I have a scarring alopecia. It's a guide that's how to manage it, how you can deal with it at home, where it comes to the major types, and what your dermatologist will be able to in a full range plan. So I'm going to get my book, because much information that I share, I get from this book. So I just want to be really quick. So if you guys have questions for me here in TikTok, please let me know. I'm doing a lot of talking, but if you guys have any questions, just let me know and I'll answer them. Okay, so let me go get the book. Don't go anywhere, everybody. So this book that I have, everyone, this book was given to me when I was in my trichology, my introduction to trichology training. I had an introduction to trichology training that I formulated my training after. Once I took this class, I said, okay, this class was very helpful. It gave me a lot of information to have my own trichology training just like this, because it was very. Now, this book, which is no longer in print, this is called the Color Atlas Differential of Hair Loss. You will not find this book. It is no longer in print. It is no longer in print. Oh my God. It's no longer in print. So I say all that to say you will not be able to find this. This was given to me once I took my training. So it's just different types of things that will help you understand some of the many types of skin issues and alopecia. Now I'm going to go, if you can see this, it talks about, different scalps and hair and things like that. So I'm going to take you to the area of scarring alopecia. And if anybody has scarring alopecia, please let me know, because we are going to be talking about some things that may apply to you. So the correct term for CCCA is centrifugal cicatricial alopecia. When I service many of my clients, many of the clients, many of the African Americans, many of the Caucasian women, many women experience this. I see it a lot. The comorbidities different, or the comorbidities differ for different women and ethnic types because of our environment, where we come from, what it is that we eat, and where we live, and our access to treatment. So usually when I see a lot of Caucasian women, I see a lot of frontal fibrosis and alopecia. So Felicia Thomas, you said that's what you've been diagnosed with. And you said, thank you for the clarification on that. You know, they didn't say that about your hair. Right. But Felicia, I'm not saying that to say that as a bad thing. They're focused on your health. They're not focused on no hair. They don't do hair. That's for my lane. They're not worried about no hair. Like, I don't know nothing about no stomach surgery. I ain't worried about no stomach surgery. I'm worried about your hair. So, you have to kind of give them that. They're trying to help you save your life, get your metabolic situation under control, get your blood sugar under control, get your weight under control, get your circulatory health under control. They ain't worried about saving no hair. I'm sorry about that, but hopefully, you can do something with what you have remaining, and you still have your life, because you're sitting here chatting with me, and I appreciate that. So the way that the CCCA shows up is different in different ethnicities. Are there men and women with the same types of alopecia? Yes, there are, but it just looks different in different people, and the comorbidities differ, and some of the symptoms and the way it looks differs. What I want to share is, okay, thank you for following me, Miss Ann. If I have any questions, just leave them. Ann Hall, I don't know what that is. Hi, do I have Phoebe pouch? I don't even know what that is. If you could just let me know. I don't know what that is. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. Now, this is where I take the majority of the information for my book is here. I know you guys can't see this, but these are the reasons. These are the popular top reasons for CCCA. So Miss Wendy Duncan Ernest on Facebook said, good morning. I was diagnosed with lupus and I have no hair in my crown. I know some comes from stress. You are exactly right, Miss Wendy. Sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system, one is going to turn it up and one is going to turn it down. The sympathetic nervous system, whenever it is on high alert because of different stressful needs and stressful concerns, whatever else we have going on in the body, it's going to amplify it and make it worse. So if you have immune system issues and you have different issues with your body, you having stress, it's going to propel and make everything else worse that is going on with your body. So I do understand, and I sympathize and empathize with your situation. So Phyllis Armour, this book is no longer in print. You can go to Google and look for it. I tried ordered it for my students who take my class. This book is no longer in print. It's called The Color Atlas Differential Hair Loss. And much of the information that I take from that is in my CCCA guide. So I wanted to just talk to you all about CCCA and some of the many reasons. You're welcome, Miss Phyllis. Some of the many reasons we suffer from it. Some of the different types of CCCA. Now, let me share with you with what I see. I'm talking about barbers. When you go to barbershops, a lot of men suffer from cellulitis. They suffer from inflammatory skin conditions. They suffer from neck bumps. They suffer from acne necrotica. There's acne all in the scalp, and they erupt, and they have pus. They have fluid coming from it. That's one type of scarring alopecia. Then we also have that's cellulitis, acne. It's called AKN, acne nuchae, acne necrotica, cellulitis, and neck bumps. We also have folliculitis. For many of you, folliculitis has a certain look, and when it's presented in my center, in my trichology center, usually folliculitis has a certain look and a certain pathway that it takes, and it will cause the follicles to tuft. Sometimes the follicle will become damaged. It will become damaged, and the hair that is actively in that follicle, it will look for a new pathway. Sometimes the follicle becomes damaged at this point right here. It's called the infundibulum, the base of the follicle to the top of the base of the sebaceous gland to the top of it is called the infundibulum. Sometimes this area becomes inflamed and it suffers the ill effects of bacteria that's running through your body. And bacteria affects the hair follicle too. So when you suffer folliculitis, the bacteria will erode the follicle to the point the hair can't grow. So this follicle is still active and it still works. However, it won't allow you to it won't allow the hair to exit the follicle. So what it will do is look for a new path and it will merge with another follicle, and then it will have 2 to 3 hairs that come out of a follicle. To us as trichologists and hair loss practitioners, we know what that looks like because the hair, it will be tufted and it will be 3 or 4 of them that have they exit the hair follicle at an abnormal angle and an abnormal rate. And you can tell what folliculitis looks like under a microscope. And when I have my hair loss practitioner training, I share with you what that looks like under a microscope. It looks markedly different from a regular hair follicle. It doesn't look the same. Tufted folliculitis has a different look. And I want to see if I can just share with you if there's any images here. Folliculitis, the Calvin's. So give me a second, everybody. I just want to see if I can pull one out. And I'm going to talk about some of the many types. Now, this is one. Folliculitis here. You guys can't see it, but this comes from the bacteria on the scalp. So there are different types of folliculitis: tufted folliculitis and folliculitis decalvans. Now, it comes from 3 different schools of thought and 3 different processes and comorbidities. There is a bacterial component to folliculitis. So if you have little acne bumps all over your scalp, what I usually suggest is you got to get on a program to cleanse your body, because your body is trying to let you know we're going to shut this down. We can ready to shut it down. When your body starts producing acne on the scalp, it can transition into folliculitis. There is bacteria. If you have acne on your face, it comes from infected sebaceous glands or sebaceous glands that are producing too much oil. It's causing inflammation to your skin, and you're going to get pus and blackheads and comedones on your face. It's the same with the skin on the scalp. If you're producing acne on the scalp, your goal is not to pick it and try to do something to it yourself. Your goal is to start to cleanse your body systems. You need to detoxify your liver, detoxify your kidneys, detoxify your intestines, and give yourself a colon cleanse, because you're full of toxicity, you're full of bacteria and waste. What I usually suggest is that my clients get on a program of internal cleansing, using things like colloidal silver for 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, because that's going to help you with the bacteria in your body. It's going to help you expel it naturally. Things like oregano oil, and oregano oil caps with at least 70% carvacrol, and that's the main ingredient. Like, don't just take any old kind of oregano oil. You should take something that contains 70% carvacrol. And if you need any of these items, I can send them to you. So the bacteria that winds up in your hair follicle that can flow through your bloodstream can cause you to have bacteria that sits in your scalp. It's going to cause you scalp pain, it's going to cause you acne, and it's going to erode your sebaceous glands, producing acidic bacteria on your scalp. That's what gives you the acne. When your follicles start to have a problem and it's going on for a certain period of time, it's going to cause your follicles to scar. It's just like when you get cut. If you cut yourself on your body and your skin heals itself, some of us form scars. Some of us form excess layers of skin cells that duplicate themselves so quickly and abnormally that they form scarred skin. You can tell when someone has they may have had something going with their ear, and then they'll have cauliflower ear, or they'll have a very large ear. because they develop scar tissue. There are certain things that African Americans who have scarring in their family, like scarring tissue affects hereditarily. That's not even a word. But when that runs in your family, there are certain things that you probably should stay away from in the way of doing things to your skin. You may have a problem with scarring if you let that bacteria and that acne and those scalp bumps that erupt on your scalp. If you don't pay attention to it, if you don't pay attention to your body, you may suffer the effects of folliculitis, cellulitis, acne necrotica, acne nucae, AKN. You can be one of those ones who suffer that issue. Now, also, Bronx Mama, thank you for liking the live. Thank you, Mama Co 124 for sharing the live. Thank you all for sharing it. I appreciate it. One of the other things that I want to talk to you about, since I'm talking about that, is your lymphatic drainage. There's often a time when us as trichologists, we understand that CCCA that occurs and forms on the scalp can be lymphocytic in nature. Some of the issues that we deal with on the scalp can be lymphocytic in nature, and they will have lymphocytic issues. Where that comes from is from the lymphatic system. That's one of the major 11 body systems. Your lymph runs across your entire body from your head to your toes. Now, I'm going to just spin my chair around really quick because I want you guys to understand what I'm talking about right now. So, back here, we have lymph. We have lymph all along the base of our skull. Now, at a certain time in everyone's life, we've all had a cold. You go to the doctor. What is the first thing the doctor does? Ooh, let me fix my hair. You go to the doctor, and the doctor will go like this. He'll go to your neck, and he'll check to see if your lymph is swollen. That's because your lymph collects bacteria. It collects waste. It collects disease. It collects all the nasty stuff that needs to exit out of your body through the body and out through the back. Okay, I need you all to understand that. And when your pathways are sluggish, when your pathways are not clear, when your pathways are inflamed, when they're not moving, you basically sit around with clogged lymphatic ducts that have nowhere to go. The bacteria and the waste just sits there. The lymph has nowhere to go. It needs to find its way out. It needs to find a pathway. But when you are inflamed, you're not eating correctly. You're not eating and detoxifying your body, eating detoxifying foods. You're not clearing out the waste. You're not getting your scalp massage. You're not going to the hairdresser. You're not allowing them to massage that lymphatic waste from your scalp. That's why hairstylists and hairdressers are important. But what I see today is so many people, I go everywhere and everyone says, I just want to do my hair at home. I'm not paying $500 for a sew-in. You go to the salon, the sew-in is $200 and the hair is $300 or more. I understand. You got to pay for what you want. However, a lot of you are suffering because you don't want to let a professional help you with your issue. You don't want to get your scalp cleansed and detoxified. You don't want to pay anything. Y'all all got your feelings all hurt and then want to go on TikTok and YouTube and everywhere else talking about how you don't like the service you got. You need your hairstylist. I'm trying to tell you, as much as you don't like that particular one, you better find you another one, someone who cares about your hair and your scalp, because you need your hairstylist. Just like you need every other practitioner for everything out here in the world. You can't sit at home, insert yourself with a speculum, open yourself up, and take care of your own kitty, can you? No. And at some point, you need to go to a professional and let the hairstylist, the professional, detoxify your scalp, trim your hair, give you the steam treatment, analyze your scalp, do a scientific brushing, and look at your scalp. You can't do everything at home. What I like about my business is AI can't take my business, because as long as I have breath in my lungs and stand on my feet, there's just something about being able to examine a scalp that I can do that AI will never be able to do. So I'm going to keep moving. CCCA comes in many, many forms. Now, I talked about frontal fibrosing alopecia very briefly, and then I ventured over into bacterial and giving you different types. But I want to talk to you about what frontal fibrosing alopecia looks like. Now, this is a scarring form of alopecia, and it encompasses many different types of our body system. Different areas of your body system are malfunctioning to the point it attacks your hairline. Now, let me talk to y'all. Now, I done got my makeup all pretty, and I wanted to make sure I came on here correct because I'm about sick of y'all in my inbox saying, how you gonna come on um, Facebook? How you gonna come on your channels? Your hair ain't done. Sometimes I got just enough time to work on here in the salon, do my trichology consultations, do my administrative work. I ain't got time to do my hair all the time, but I got myself pretty for y'all today. I'm ready for y'all today. So let me share with you. I get a lot of questions, and I have posted some stuff on my Facebook and my Instagram and my TikTok. Now, for all of my ladies who have um, problems with this hairline, if you have problems with your hairline and you think you have traction, traction will leave little tiny hairs around the hairline. It'll leave little tiny hairs around the hairline. Then it'll be an area where you have no hair, and then you have the remaining start of your hairline. Now, if you have that, you have traction. You indeed have traction alopecia. If you have no hair and your hairline has no hair, no hair, no hair, it's clean, 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 no rim, no little hairs, you're more than likely dealing with frontal fibrosing alopecia. If this area here is discolored, it's very light. This area is much lighter than your face or the rest of your scalp. You are dealing with frontal fibrosing alopecia. Now, I'm going to just share this with you. Frontal fibrosing alopecia has many different body systems that are affected. Hormonally, you're having a challenge. You're also having a challenge with your immunity. You are also having a challenge with inflammation. So, three different things are intersecting at one time, and it is affecting your hairline. So, the reason why I say that if this area is a different color, your immunity is affected because now your melanocytes, the cellular processes that give your body, your skin, your eyes, your hair is hair color, your melanocytes, melanin is sight. Sight is short for cell. Melano is the short word for melanin. So the color of your cells are being affected by your immune system. It's being held up and mesmerized by the white blood cells. So when you're having a problem with your immunity, with your endocrine system, and with your inflammation in the body, sometimes it will attack your body in different areas. Now, for those who have frontal fibrosing alopecia, those are three different things. And if you do not catch it, it will continue and it will continue and it will erode those follicles. And it may go back pretty far until you catch it and slow it down. If you've already lost that hair in the front, you will not be able to restore it. However, you have to get yourself in a frame of mind that I want to slow it down. I want to end it. I want to put it in its tracks. I want to stop it in its tracks. That you can do, but once you have lost those follicles, it is indeed scarred and you will not be able to get it back. You have the whole entire area, this sebaceous gland, the infundibulum, the base of this follicle, and the top of this follicle, that's the infundibulum, that has been attacked. The root and the bulb and the papilla has been attacked. The entire follicle ceases to exist and you will not be able to get that hair back. That is one of the many instances where no matter what you do, you will not be able to get that hair back. But you can work on your body's needs to be able to slow it down and stop it, but you won't be able to get that hair back. With frontal fibrosing alopecia, with traction, if we see follicles under a microscopy exam, if we take a look at your hair from the microscopy zone, and if we do a scalp exam and we're able to look at your scalp under a microscope, if we see that you have follicles, often we are able to help you restore that hair in those areas. However, what I do see is y'all want to keep wearing these braids. Y'all want to keep wearing these lace units. You want to keep doing things that's not good for your hair. You will never want to get that hair back. If you keep putting stuff on it, you're not going to get the hair back. So you're going to have to wear put things like this on beneath those wigs. You're going to have to put bands on. You're going to put silk and satin bands on beneath your wigs and try to do things to your hair and scalp that's going to promote hair growth. But the longer you keep putting stuff on it and you're not paying attention to it, you're not giving it daily attention, you're not cleansing your scalp, you're putting these lace units on and these crochets and you think you're doing something, your body needs you to pay attention to it daily, every other day, weekly. You can't put something on and call yourself fixing it and forgetting it. It don't work that way. Your body does not work that way. You have to pay attention. You have to do things to your scalp daily. Now, if you got stuff anchored onto the front of your scalp and you got braids, you won't be able to fix it. So that's the one thing about traction. You got to work on that. I have clients who come in who are restoring their hair growth for traction. I have people coming in just to get a detox with this hair right in the front. They have braids and everything else, but they have not had anything done to the front. They'll take and they'll put a band on it. I tell them, you better put a band on that hair and tuck that hair up underneath that band, and then you can have the braids in the back. I have migrated my clients into headband wigs because if you want to restore that hair, you got to get in here a couple times a week, sit up under my light therapy. You have to come in here. You need to get your detox. You have to attack it like you want it. If you don't attack it like you want it, you're not going to get it back. So I just wanted to talk to you all about frontal fibrosing alopecia, which is the scarring type of alopecia. I talked about lymphocytic concerns that come from the lymph. I talked about cellulitis, acne nucae, AKN, cellulitis, folliculitis. That is another type of scarring alopecia that I see a lot of my Black men get, and I have a lot of women who get it. They'll get acne problems all in their scalp, and I'm like, sis, if you want me to help you, you have to do exactly as I lay it out for you, or else you're not going to get control of it. You can't sit there and pick it. You have to attack it because it's coming from inside. So I say all that to say, when you're dealing with that acne on the scalp, that sebaceous gland is full of acidic waste, is full of oil, and it's full of bacteria. You have to detoxify that out. You have to detoxify that out of your body because your follicle is fed by a blood supply. So if you have infected acne on the scalp, this is the skin surface. If you have infected acne on the scalp, that's coming from inside. That's coming from you. So you have to work on it. You got to work on it. So I'm so sorry, Miss Libby Meadows, you said send you that information. If you're still here, let me know what information you want me to send you because I have all you have to do is go to the Facebook page and tap the name of the page, SBO Hair Loss and Wellness. Tap the name of the page. My home page will come up and you'll see my information on that home page. If you want the information, I can just inbox you. You can leave me a message and I'll send it to you. But what information is it that you need so I can send it to you? So Miss Wendy Duncan Ernest said, how do I know how to treat my hair and scalp to get some of my hair growth back? That I can't exactly help you with. Thank you so much for liking and give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Miss Wendy Duncan, it all starts with a plan. The long and short of it is I can't just give you information because I don't know you. I don't know your scalp. I don't know your situation. I don't know what you've been dealing with. I don't know your source of employment. I don't know about your stressors, your trauma. I don't know about how you digest food, how you eliminate food, how you go to sleep. I don't know anything about your particular situation. I don't know how you eat, what you eat. I don't know your blood type. I don't know anything. So I say all that to say there is nothing quick about anyone's situation here that is joining me today. What you have to do is sit down with a professional like myself, whether you work with me virtually or in person, because I'm in the Atlantic City area of New Jersey. You have to sit with me so that I can see the whole of you, so that I can help you. I can just point you to my website and say, go to my website and take the newer trust products and try it for 90 days and see if it works. It might not, but what I'm saying to you is, as a professional, I need data. I need information. The only way I can help anyone who is on any of these platforms right now, my YouTube, my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok, the only way I can help any of you right now is to share with you, have a consultation with me, let me see what is going on with you and your body, and then I can share with you a treatment plan that will get you laser focused, that will help you get your hair back if you have active follicles that are still working. Many of you have waited too long. Many of you have stopped putting perms in, stopped putting color in, but you have been putting wigs on your hair. You're not washing your scalp. You have let your medications just build up. You've been putting yourself off by dealing with your family, dealing with loved ones, dealing with grandkids. You've been letting stress and trauma into your life so long that some of y'all will not be able to grow no hair back. So you have to meet with me so that I can see what's going on with you. I need to be able to look at your scalp so that I can give you a plan. So you're welcome, Miss Wendy. I really don't know, but I can always point you to my website and say, try one of these for 90 days and it might let it grow back. But if you are important and you regard yourself as important and you would like help, just reach out, schedule a 15-minute call with me. If you want more information, inbox me. I'll send you the link to my 15-minute session. Talk with me about your needs, and we'll share with you one of our 4 programs. We have a very, very quick program. We have the basic program, we have midway programs, and then we have the top of the line program that may work for you. And that may involve me digging into your life, finding out your medications, find out what kind of surgeries you've experienced, find out how you eat, how you sleep. It may involve me finding out what your blood type is, finding out the intolerances that you need to stay away from and what you need to include in your life. It may involve microscopy, me looking at your hair under a microscope, because looking at your hair under a microscope can tell me a lot about you and what you've experienced. And also, it may involve you getting the full Monty, coming in, getting a series of topical treatments and services, getting all of the body balancers that you need to get your body focused and mentally ready, all of your topical hair products. So we have something for everyone. If you just want a little bit, I give you a little bit. If you want a lot, I give you a lot. If you just want the middle, I give you the middle. But I really can't help anyone on the call within the sound of my voice until I know what it is I'm working with. But I can point everyone to my website and just try it and say, just try something and see if it works. It may work, it may not. I'm sorry about that, everybody. I keep touching my computer and then it's bouncing off and it's dropping my phone. So, Miss Wendy, I'm going to post a comment in Facebook, and I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me see. So, if you just reach me at hairlosscenternj.com, I'm just posting it. No, that's it's posted to YouTube. Okay, Facebook. Give me 1 second, everybody. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Hi, Nurse Mika, Agent Carter. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Okay. Not cool. Okay. But I try to post in Facebook the and it's hair.com. And let me see if I can pull my banner. Let's see if I can up. Okay. Trying to see if I can post it. I don't always know how to work everything. All I know how to do is turn it. Now, let me see. Get back. All right. Get back to the stream. Okay. So I want to see if you guys, if you see the here's go visit at the bottom, or you can text in my number and I can help you with the website, with any appointments, anything that you would like. You can find out more once you text me or visit that link there. So I'm going to keep going, and I want to talk to you all about what happens with CCCA and where it comes from. I see a lot of my black women, are dealing with a syndrome called lichen planopilaris. It is not nice, and it is something that any of you want to have happen to you, because once it starts happening, scarring has started to set in, and often you're not able to help you restore your hair growth in those areas. Lichen planopilaris, this is a different type of syndrome. Lichen planopilaris is a different. The skin is suffering effects of inflammation. It is suffering of bacteria and fungus and protozoa in the skin to replace itself and restore itself. The skin is constantly itself each day, each hour. What happens is when the skin starts to repair itself, it starts to stick. And as it's healing, it's going to form new cells and skin cells that kind of layer up on top of each other. What happens is when you're starting to form thick layers of skin on your scalp, often it envelops the cuticle, and the inflammation from that syndrome shuts down this follicle to the point there are areas where the hair ceases to exist anymore. And when you wait and wait and wait and wait, and you don't do anything holistically to help work on it on the outside and the inside, you lose functionality of a lot of your follicles. There is often a time when, as holistic practitioners, and we have been able to do this, as holistic practitioners, we have been able to turn around hair growth that doctors have termed ungrowable, or the hair will not grow anymore. That you might as well just take minoxidil and forget about it. It's not going to grow anymore. We have been able to turn that around. However, it does take a little bit of work, and it does take you having to visit with us and getting yourself a treatment plan. It's just like when you have, when you go visit your doctor will give you a treatment plan, what you need to do to get better or get well. We have a treatment plan. However, you have to make your appointment. Let us find out the other things that are happening and occurring in your body to help you get support so that you can get your hair back. But if you wait, there are often times when you will not be able to get that hair back with different types of lichen and the thickening of the inflammatory process of the skin. Five different reasons for CCCA. If any of you have CCCA that are on this call, if you have any questions for me, just let me know, and I will definitely answer them for you here. I don't see any here on Instagram. And I just want to say thank you for everyone who are still here on Instagram. Thank you for joining me. What I want to share with you is there are inflammatory concerns that are happening with the body. There are bacterial concerns that I mentioned earlier with cellulitis, with neck bumps, with AKN, with acne nucae, with cellulitis. That comes from bacteria. Folliculitis, it comes from bacteria in the body. Then there's also fungal issues. Fungal issues come from the gut. When your gut is not moving and you're not moving that waste through your gut, you're essentially reabsorbing waste from your gut when you're not going to the bathroom once a day, 2 times a day. There are some people that I know, as soon as they eat, they're in the bathroom. They have very fast-moving colons. And then there are others I see that come into my trichology center who tell me they are not able to move their bowels maybe once a week. And when they do move it once a week, they need help. They have to take ballerina, they have to take senna, they have to take something to help them move. When you are not moving waste through your gut, you can essentially reabsorb that waste, and that reabsorbed waste will cause issues in your body. Also, you need to have your pre and your probiotic fiber that you eat daily that's going to help move waste through your colon. That leaky gut, here's what happens with the leaky gut. There are tight junctions in the colon that are like this. When your body is suffering the effects of inflammation, then the skin is going to raise and swell. Those tight junctions that normally hold the colon together and prevent permeable waste from leaching through the colon, it starts to swell and it starts to open. And what happens is the toxicity in your gut that is normally supposed to be expelled through your anus as waste, as a fecal matter, you reabsorb it. When you start reabsorbing all of this waste, what happens? You start suffering the effects of autoimmune conditions. You start getting things like psoriasis and eczema, and you'll suffer the effects of bad dandruff and bad scalp issues because the waste is filtering through your colon because you're not expelling that waste through your colon. Your colon walls, 40 feet of colon walls, sit in our gut. When we don't have good transit time, and when we're eating things like cheese and milk and things that we know we have no business eating, it causes inflammation. And with that inflammation, your intestinal walls become permeable and toxicity starts leaking through. When you start suffering the effects of that, you'll get acne all over your chest, all over your back, all over your face. You'll start having problems with your scalp. You'll start having problems with the integumentary system, which is the skin. You'll start having problems with that. And you will suffer the effects of fungal issues. When your microbial levels and your bacterial levels are off in the gut, you're not eating enough pre and probiotic fiber, you're not moving that waste, you will develop excess yeast on the skin. You will have all that sludge, and then you'll be sitting, scratching with thick layers of debris all over your scalp. I have people that stop me in the street and they'll say, "Oh, I follow you on Facebook. I see all of your posts, but I got to bring my daughter in because she's got all this bad dandruff." And I just be sitting there like, I already know what it is. I know what it is. It's that gut. When you're not getting good bacteria in your gut, when you're not moving that waste through your gut, when you're eating sugar, processed food, hot Cheetos, Goya rice, prepackaged foods, food sprayed with glyphosate, you're not eating enough healthy omegas, you're not eating enough fresh unprocessed food, you're going to tear your gut up. And what is it going to do? It's going to give you yeast. It's going to give you itchy, inflamed skin, and you're going to be filled with dandruff forever. And people say to me all the time, "Oh, I'm gonna stop in. I'm gonna see you. I'll be following you." You keep following me, you ain't gonna do nothing. You have to get it in here, and you have to get it in here in your heart to understand. You got to change some things. You got to change the way you live your life, because if you don't, it's going to affect your hair. It's going to take it out on your hair, and many of you going to be suffering the effects of wearing wigs forever, wearing wigs and braids and covering your hair up because you just don't know any better. But hopefully today you will understand that some things have to change in your life, or else it's going to reflect in your hair and your skin. There are many people who I have had come through my trichology center. Once they changed and they began eating for their blood type, once they began to eat the right types of good fats and the right meats and the right fruits and vegetables for their diet, once people have stopped eating sugar and they've cut down their insulin resistance, their skin starts to clear, their skin brightens up. It's no longer dark, it's no longer hazy. Those the dark spots on their face, the negritis on the face, those dark areas, that hyperpigmentation starts to clear up because they're doing what is necessary for the body. They're giving their body what it needs. So I've covered inflammation, inflammation in CCCA. When your body is responding to all that you are giving it, when you're not treating your body in a manner that is conducive to having good health and good hair, inflammation will set in. When you're eating too much sugar, when you're dealing with essential fatty acids that are not right for you, when you are not having good digestion, when your hormones are faulty, all of these things, your sympathetic nervous system, stress, everything will start to cause the effects of cytokine release. These are inflammatory cells. Inflammation will set in your entire body, and it will accentuate and accelerate all these types of CCCA, the bacteria, which I just covered, the fungal, which I just covered. Next, I'm going to cover protozoa. Now, I'm not sure if any of y'all know what protozoa are, or if you've even ever heard of protozoa, but protozoa is worms. And everyone is loaded with parasites and worms. Now, if any of you have pets, I have a dog. Come here, Ralphie. Come here, buddy. Come here, Ralphie. Ralphie. Come here, buddy. Come here. I want to share everybody with you. Come here. Now, this is my dog, Ralphie. Now, Ralphie's got his little bomber jacket on because it's cold in here. So Ralphie says hello to everybody. Now, what I want you to understand, if any of you all have pets, we all have to give them heartworm, and we have to give them dewormers. But people don't ever want to get dewormed. We have liver flukes, we have parasites, we have bacteria in the gut that live off of our feces. The waste that they leave behind gives us our autoimmune reactions. What I want to share with you is go to whatever platform you're on and put parasites. put protozoa, put worms, and you will see tons of things come up. Parasites are in just about all food, especially if you don't rinse them off and if you don't soak them, if you don't put them in your vinegar bath, your baking soda bath, if you don't use your O3, because I have an O3 oxygen concentrator that I soak all of my food in to get rid of the parasites, to get rid of the worms, to cleanse them. In different cultures, some people use lemon juice, some people use lime juice in certain cultures, but when you do that, you help to release some of the waste and the bacteria and the worms and the bad things that are in food. Sometimes you can't get rid of them all because they're just in there. There's also protozoa, parasites in fish. It is in there. So what I'm sharing with you is the protozoa that is in our body that we are unable to get rid of. That protozoa will start causing issues with memory. It will start causing issues with your mineral balance, because when you are loaded with protozoa, often your minerals will get low and it will show up as low iron, low magnesium, low phosphorus, low calcium, because your protozoa and the parasites are stealing it from you. So I usually tell everyone you have to get on a program of detoxifying your body and giving your body certain minerals and certain things like papaya seeds, crushed papaya seeds. I usually sell it in a powder. I give it to my clients when parasites show up on their scans, because until you deal with the parasites, until you strengthen the gut, until you deal with that, there's there's not a lot that we can do when that has not been taken care of. It's just like when my clients come in with bacteria and mold and they've been dealing with fungal spores and mold spores. Until you address that, until you address the spores, help someone with a plan to remove that from their body slowly, help them with their immunity, there's not a whole lot that we are going to do that's really going to have a long-term effect, because you have to deal with the root. Once I sit and I interview you and I find from your scans where the bulk of your issues are coming from, you have to target that. When you just run to your dermatologist and your dermatologist give you shots and then you say, oh, well, it didn't work, it didn't do anything, because you didn't tackle the issue. You didn't attack the root. You have to get to the root and understand, well, how did I get in this mess? So that's like what I'm talking about. We have to get to the root. So we have inflammatory issues that come from the protozoa and the parasites, inflammation that comes from bacteria, inflammation that comes from the gut and fungal issues. So we have inflammation. We have bacteria that I talked about with CCCA. We have fungal issues. We have protozoa issues. And then we also have inherited issues that we get from our parents. Often, and there was a black dermatologist, a group of dermatologists that were able to find out this information. This happened, this was released during COVID. And if anyone wants to know anything about this, I urge you to go on Google and research this. It is called the PAID 13 variant that they were able to find. Is an inherited hereditary variant that is passed down in different cultures. They pass down the effects of scarring alopecias. So I will tell you this: when you drop someone with an inherited issue in the mix, and then you continue in that cycle that will cause the inflammation, cause the bacteria, cause the gut to be subpar and poor, you're going to just fall right into that. You're going to fall right into that same scarring pattern. And I say that to say, I'm going to say it like this: Patti LaBelle had siblings in her family who all passed from cancer. She was the only one who didn't. Yes, inherited effects can be in your bloodline, but you have environment. You have 50% is your heredity, 50% is environment. When you work your environment, when you work your epigenetics, you're able to turn things around, slow it down, and keep it right where it is. You don't always have to suffer the effects of your DNA. Because I have people that tell me all the time, oh, this runs in my family. Male female catabolic runs in my family. There are things you can do, but you have to work. It takes work. So Nat is PAID 13 is a variant. Let me see if I can look this up on my phone. Give me a second. Let me see. Do I have one on my phone going? Because I have one phone I'm streaming to TikTok, and the other one I'm streaming to Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, so I can't use those. Let me see. Give me one. So this is from the New England Journal of Medicine. Let's see. This was published in the New England Journal of Medicine. PAD 13 variant in centrifugal superficial alopecia. Okay, so like I said earlier, y'all may think I'm trying to hold back and I'm not trying to release this information. That is a study that was done in the New England Journal of Medicine to inform us, to inform health practitioners, doctors, that there are inherited effects of CCCA. So I have seen it. I have seen it in Black men when they come in for their interviews and I talk to them about their patterns. I will ask, does this happen? Did this happen to others in your family? And a lot of my men, a lot of my women have said yes. When I interview them and they come in, I see that they all have the same similar issues. They have been exposed to the same things. They have been eating. You're welcome, Miss Nat. They have been eating the same things. They have been exposed to the same things. They all eat the same bacon fat and macaroni and cheese and the same types of food. So if you're in that situation and you eat all the same things and you were raised the same way, you are all going to suffer the same effects until one of you breaks from that pattern and says, I have to eat clean. I have to take care of my scalp in a certain way. I have to go to sleep. I have to apply the 7 pillars of health. So when you attack your life in a different manner and you expose that other 50% to epigenetics, heredity doesn't always have to manifest and take place over your life. Y'all can tell me till the son comes home, oh, this runs in my family, diabetes runs in my family. No, I don't. You have to be the smart one to understand. You change the way you live your life, things will change for you. You don't always have to suffer what everyone else in your family suffers through. That's untrue. It's your environment and it's heredity. It's epigenetics. You don't always have to suffer everything because somebody said it runs in your family. You don't have to run in your family. You just do the work and you can migrate that right out of your life. So we talked about inflammatory concerns, bacterial concerns with folliculitis, fungal issues that will bring upon CCCA, protozoa issues, inherited issues, and then we're also going to talk about trauma. Having your yeah, Nat, you said it makes sense. Also, I'm going to talk about trauma and exogenous factors. Now, there are just some things that people are born with. I have had a customer years ago that I used to service, and then she stopped coming in. She had an entire area of her scalp that just had this large scar. She had always had this large scar on her scalp for years. Those are just exogenous factors. Sometimes when we're born, our skin and our scalp will take on certain characteristics and qualities. So it was a source of an area that had very thickened skin, very calloused skin, and hair did not grow in that area. It was nothing that she did. That's just how her skin formed. So that's called an exogenous factor. There's also things such as trauma. You can have something happen to you. You can be burned. There could be things that happen to the outside of your skin that is a trauma, source of trauma that will cause your hair not to grow anymore in that spot. And there are also areas where necrosis will set in. If you are, let's just say you are in a nursing home. This is not scarring. If you're in a nursing home or if you're bedridden and you're just laying in one spot, that whole area will develop a sore. It will develop more like a scar. That's how people get bed sores, because lymphatic waste and blood flow, oxygen is not reaching certain areas of the body. So life will cease to exist in those areas. Your hair, anywhere you're laying on forever for a long time, that whole area, nothing will grow in that spot because you're not getting any blood flow. You're not getting any blood flow. You're not getting any oxygen. So when you're laying in a nursing home, that's why the facilities and people who work there need to turn you over and move you, because you have to get blood flow, oxygen, you have to get lymphatic drainage to move through that area. The lymphatic waste needs to move that area, move that waste through those areas so it can find its way out. I have seen countless people when I go into nursing homes to style hair who are loaded with bed sores, and I feel so bad. That's not my lane. I can't do anything about that. But I see people, and then they're sitting and they're just so sore, and just like, I can't move, and they have sores all on their body. I feel so bad. The only thing I can do is service them with their hair, but that's what happens. You have to, circulation needs to run through the body. Lymphatic and circulatory system run together. Circulation is blood flow. Lymphatic channels work along with the circulatory system. When the circulatory system is poor, there will be no blood flow. A lot of my clients suffer with lymphocytic issues of the scalp and lymphocytic CCCA because they don't have good circulation, and the drainage from the lymph is bad. I've had clients come in and they have lumps on their scalp, lumps, sore lumps, bumps, like lumps. You can feel it on their skin, and when they come in, it's loaded with bacteria, and the lymph is not draining, and it can result in CCCA issues. So I covered inflammatory, bacterial, fungal, protozoa, inherited, trauma, and exogenous CCCA. So now I'm going to move on, and I'm going to talk about the regions of the scalp. Now, again, I was saying earlier, this is for those who want to learn how to regrow their hair in 2026. So if you are dealing with CCCA, the time is now. You may not have forever to restore your hair. You can, along with your dermatologist and a trichologist or holistic practitioner, find a treatment plan that will work to help restore your hair, save your hair, help you from losing any more, and we will also help you, not your dermatologist because that's not their lane. We can also put a treatment plan together for you that will help you reduce inflammation, reduce waste, reduce bacteria, detoxify your body, and help you get healthier in the process. Because this is the fact that I want to share with all of you. Many of y'all don't understand. It's you. You have to change some things. You got to get your life, fix your life, and get your life together, because your hair doesn't survive on its own. It survives when it has good blood flow, good pH, low waste, low bacteria. If you're not giving your hair follicle what it needs, you are the reason for your hair. The medication you taking, all that sugar you eating, all that crap that's sprayed all over your food, the glyphosates, all this processed food you eating, you're the reason for your hair loss. You have to understand that. You have to make some changes. You. It's your hair. It's you. You got to work on your immunity. You have to work on your stress levels. You have to chip away at that elephant a little at a time. You have to understand that it takes work. It takes work to have anything. Anything in life worth having takes work. Nobody wants to do the work. That's why I'm here, because if you guys want this hair to grow back, I'm going to be here every single week, every Sunday this year, because my Kingdom Hall has now moved to 3 o'clock. So I got all morning, I got all day to talk about some hair. So Miss Angela Patterson, you said good morning and thanks for that information. So let me know what it is that made sense to you since you said thanks for that information. So I'm moving away from CCCA. So for TikTok, you can see that I have a list of stuff that I wanted to go over, because TikTok asked me to stay on here for 2 hours. So Missy Lane, am I going to discuss non-scarring alopecia? No, ma'am. All I did was just go over CCCA and the many popular forms of scarring. I typically do not break it down into non-scarring, because the fact is, if you have non-scarring, and you have follicles, there's a chance for you to restore your hair. If it's non-scarring, I'm not really focused on non-scarring because it's not scarred. That means there's a potential for you to restore it. The major ones that I'm focusing on today that I did focus on were scarring. Anything that's non-scarring, there's a chance for you to restore it. You just need a plan. The non-scarring ones for me, such as dupa or diffuse unpatterned alopecia, hypotrichia, any male and female pattern hair loss, hormonal hair loss, inflammatory hair loss, all of those can be restored and worked on. But often, when you catch someone with scarring, a lot of times it will not grow back. So anything that's not scarring, I'm not really addressing because those can be restored. They can be worked on. You just need a plan. We have to identify the problems that are going on with you and help you work on those particular issues and restore your hair. So I don't focus on non-scarring. I just focus on hair growth, hair loss. And today I was just talking about CCCA and scarring form. So I don't focus on non-scarring because if it's non-scarring, it's always a potential for you to restore it. You just gotta get with a hair loss practitioner, get a trichoscope exam, see what kind of follicles you are dealing with, get your microscopy done, find out your contributors and work on it. So if you have a particular question, just post it here. So Miss Felicia Thomas McDowell, you said, can you change it after the surgery? So let me see if Felicia Thomas McDowell. Okay, similar to bypass surgery. Thank you for the clarification. You didn't say anything. They know they didn't say anything about hair. Okay, so you said I did ESG surgery. Did that help? Or did it cause some thinning? So I thought I addressed that question. So you said, can you change it after surgery? What I shared with you is no, you cannot. Once you've had gastric bypass surgery, you cannot change the quality of your hair because you've already affected two major body systems. You've affected the digestive and the intestinal. You will not be able to get your hair back the way it was before your surgery. You cannot. You can only deal with it at the level you are now. You can only deal with it at this point. You won't be able to get any more hair. You won't be able to increase the density because you've already changed two body systems and how they work. You will not be able to get your hair back the way it was. So I hope that answered your question. So Ms. Angela, you said you have a terrible itchy scalp resulting in terrible hair loss. So if you were listening to me earlier, Ms. Angela, you must work on and support your digestive and intestinal system. Above all, that's where you need to focus. If you have an itchy scalp, it's coming from your gut. Waste and bacteria are causing you probably to have leaky gut. You probably have too much yeast in your gut. You probably have too much bacteria. You probably need to detoxify your liver, your kidneys, and your colon. And once you help remove some of the waste and reduce the effects of your leaky gut, you also have to work on your inflammation. That's why I say it's never simple because I don't know you. I can just kind of throw bits and pieces out there, but you have to work on your inflammation. You have to work on detoxifying your body. You have to work on getting good pre and probiotic fiber into your diet. And that includes cellulose, that includes plant fiber, it includes fiber, all kinds of fiber. And it includes you working on getting good essential fatty acids in your diet that will help you keep the inflammation down in your gut. But if you want to, you're welcome. If you want to work on your hair, Miss Angela, you got to take a deep dive. You got to start working on that colon. Many of y'all don't like sitting on the toilet, but I examine that poop. When my clients come in for their trichology exam, I ask about their poop. I want to know, are they hard marbles? I want to know, is it just tumbling through and it's all one shape? I want to know, is it big clumpy pieces? I want to know if it's a different color, because the way your poop speaks to me tells me about what you're doing to your body. So I suggest, Miss Angela, if you're still in the building, you have to work on that first, and then work on everything else. Work on detoxifying, work on your inflammation, work on getting that fiber. If you want a plan, connect with me for 15 minutes so we can lay some things out for you, let you know what we offer, and then we can assist you. If you need a hand to help you get through this journey, I can help you. But I don't take no shorts. I don't play no games. I'm telling you what it is, and I'm on you every single week. Send me pictures. What are you eating? What's going on? Have you moved your bowels? What it look like? Like, I'm in it because you pay me to give you results. I'm going to help you reduce that inflammation, get your body to the point where you can grow the hair back. However, you've got to do the work. But if you don't reach out, all you're going to, do is maybe get a little progress here, a little progress there. But what I do is give people a plan. So I appreciate that question, and I'm going to jump back in here to TikTok. So somebody just sent me something. Let me just read this. So Ty said, could you provide us with a good gut cleanse and how often we should clean our guts? Okay, so this is 2 and 3-fold, Miss Ty, and thank you for that question. Ty, one of the first things you have to do, and I'm out of it right now. I'm out of it, but it's in my store, and it's called. Let me go get the big jar of psyllium. Give me 1 second. All right, Ty. Now, the reason why on the FDA food chart years ago they had, your meats, your sugars, your fruits and vegetables, and your carbs. Now the FDA food chain has changed. What I usually recommend is having much more fruits and vegetables in its whole form, not cut up, not in syrup, but whole foods. Why I recommend this is I recommend you eating your fruits, your vegetables, your food in its whole purest form because it has the fiber. Don't eat anything that's packaged and prepared for you. Eat your brown rice with the kernel. Don't eat white rice. White rice has been processed. They take the kernel off. You need the fiber. So you need your fruits, you need your vegetables, you need the orange. You need to eat an orange. Don't drink orange juice. That's the worst thing you can do. Eat the orange, eat the apple, eat the apple with the skin on. Eat your potatoes with skin. You need the fiber. So what you need to do is to use a good colon cleanse. Nature's Secret has a good colon cleanse. I don't have any right now because I don't usually recommend um, products like Nature's Secret, but it's a good program because I recommend packages and I send them out in full script. Because I can't share it with you right now, I'm going to share with you some stuff you can use online. Let me see. And because I don't have a TikTok shop, I can't even, try to put it in the TikTok shop because it's way too confusing. I don't know how to put the stuff up there. It ain't, it never really worked for me, so I couldn't do it. Okay, so here we go. Now this is one of my favorites. Before I started using full script, this is one product, Miss Ty, that I really love that works well. And I know you probably can't see it, but I'm going to try to see if I can open this up so I can show it to you. Now this is called Super Cleanse by Nature's Secret. Super Cleanse by Nature's Secret. That's one, and it's like budget friendly. Super Cleanse by Nature's Secret. That's a good colon cleanse. Now when you take that, you need to take it at the same time every day. And when you do take it, you need to drink a lot of water because your intestinal system is going to draw water from every orifice of your body and it will cause you dehydration if you don't drink water. You have to drink enough water so that your intestines can push out the fecal matter. You need to take it at the same time every day because when you take it at the same time every day, it's going to have you go to the bathroom at the same time every day. A lot of people don't want to poop. Pooping is your friend, and when you poop, your mind is a bit clearer, your lungs are clearer because the guts and the lung axis they work together. You breathe through your lungs, but you actually breathe from your gut. You're breathing waste that is reabsorbed, that passes out through the lungs that you expel. And when you have a lot of problems with asthma, a lot of problems with COPD, you take something like your super or something similar. Just take a colon cleanse. Find one that works for you. There's also one that I have through Market America because I don't have the box in front of me. I can just share it with you at a later date. They have a good 7-day cleanse. Nature's Secret has a good 7-day cleanse. The point is, take it at the same time every single day, and you'll be amazed by how it's going to regulate you. I usually ask my clients to do this like once a season. Like once a season. If you have a really sluggish gut, do this once a season, and you'll see your face clear up, the skin clear up. Your skin will clear up. You have less itching, less toxicity and breakouts and hives. You have less problems on your scalp because you are clearing out the waste from your gut. Also, I tell all my clients, this is my heavy hitter. I sell this here in the salon. Organic India, for me, it's the truth, Ruth. Organic India, psyllium, thank you so much for my hearts. The psyllium is, it's a plant-based fiber. When you use that, it's going to increase the bulk of your stool. It's going to pull down all of the bad cholesterol that is building in the body, because there are certain types of cholesterol that are good for you, HDL, LDL. Then there are certain types, B and C. The cholesterol that we need to expel and get down that is causing harm to our bodies can be reduced when you have a regular program of clearing out waste with fiber. Psyllium is going to cause an increase in the bulk and size of your stool. When you have the extra added one, the one that I like to sell that I'm out of right now because I sell it very often, has pre and probiotic fiber in their fiber. So it's not just psyllium, it's a fiber with pre and probiotics in it that's going to help repopulate the gut. Because of all the food that we eat, they have eradicated all of our food. They have removed all the fiber from the food. We don't eat brown rice. We don't eat food with pulp. We don't eat food with fiber in it. We strip everything and bleach it, and everything is made to taste good, and it tastes good on the palate and on the tongue, and everything is savory and everything is sweet. We want everything to be so simple that it is really killing our body. So you need to have things like this. You need your colon cleanse once a season. You need your psyllium, and if you need me to ship you some of these, I can ship it to you. If you want the pre and probiotic fibers on my website, I usually, when clients order this from me, when you order the pre and probiotic fiber on my website, it's $20. I usually send this out for free because I want people to really work on their gut. Also, you let me know, you said you wanted to know a good gut cleanse and how often should you do it. I recommend it once a season, and when you get your super cleanse, take it at the same time every day, and take the entire bottle. Take the whole bottle. If you feel like, oh my God, it's giving me the bubble guts, then pull back. If you take what's recommended, sometimes they say take 3 tablets 3 times a day. If it's giving you the bubble guts and it's giving you, it's etching your intestines and it's making your body hurt, pull back. Take half. If it say take 3 times a day, then take 1 3 times a day, or just take 2 or 3 before you go to sleep, because your body's going to do the heavy lifting at night. It's going to detoxify your body, so when you get up in the morning, it's going to make you go to the bathroom. Take those, and it's going to help a lot of your skin problems clear up, and you're going to look and feel better. Your scalp's going to feel better. I promise you. That's a promise that I can stand behind. So I want to answer some more questions. Let me see if I have any more questions. If anyone else has any more questions, let me know, because I'm going to move up. I'm going to keep moving to, on TikTok, you can see it. I'm going to move towards the regions of the scalp. So if you guys want to grow this hair in 2026, that's why I'm here. If you want to grow this hair, you got to listen up. I just went over CCCA, and if any of those apply to you, you got to make some changes. So, Miss Angela, you said you wasn't on at the start, so you didn't hear everything. Well, Miss Angela, I did go over CCCA. This is one of my books. This is one of my handy guides, and if you have CCCA, you can see the information across the screen. You just tap that or access that. You'll find the CCCA guide. It's in my bio that you'll see when you pull that up. I was talking about the book, and I was talking about CCCA and where it comes from and how it begins and what you need to look for and some ways that you can, just help deal with it. So now I'm going to go over the regions of the scalp. Now, I just want to talk about a fast story really, really quick, because I don't want to talk about myself, because this isn't about me, but I want to just prove a point. So I have become a trichologist. I've been interested in health and wellness because I saw some things in me. I saw some things in me happen. That's what made me get clear and laser focused. And it just feels like, stuff gets downloaded into me from everywhere, because once you open your mind and your heart to information, once you you tell the universe and the world that this is who you're going to be, this is what you're focused on, this is what you want, is going to start coming to you. You just have to change the way you think, just having that positive mental attitude. I was tired of being sick and tired. I'm going to share this with you. Years ago, I didn't know it, but I could see it. Years ago, I had I had really bad problem with acne all across my chest, all across my back. The acne was all over my arms. It was all over my face, and I just couldn't understand. But I was in my late 20s then, in my early 30s. Just had this terrible, terrible acne. In my 30s, I kept saying to myself, why do I keep having problems with my allergies, problems with upper respiratory problems, problems with asthma? 3 to 4 times a year, I would have to be out of work. I would be at the doctor getting a Z-Pack, getting Claritin, getting antibiotics, because I kept suffering the same effects year in and year out and didn't know why. Then I made a decision. I said to myself, I want to find out how I can help myself with a natural antibiotic without having to go to the doctor all the time getting these antibiotics from the doctor, because it would subsequently give me issues with my lady parts. It would give me yeast infections for weeks and weeks and weeks that I would have to get over and eat yogurt. Back then I was eating yogurt, doing things that I could to get my gut repopulated with good bacteria, because I was killing the bacteria in my gut, doing the same thing 3 or 4 times a year. Then I said, you know what? I'm gonna figure out how to work on my body's needs naturally. And what did I do? I went to Google. And this was, the heart of Google. Google had just started. So I said, I'm gonna go on Google and I'm going to Google natural herbal antibiotics. My mind was blown. And after I started doing research, after I started taking care of my body's needs naturally, guess what? I didn't go to a doctor for another Z-Pack. I didn't need to have to be on no Claritin. I didn't have to be on no asthma pump. I didn't have to keep getting antibiotics. I didn't have to keep going back to the doctor, because I found something that would take care of me. I found this here. This was what I found. I started cleansing my body with the super cleanse that Ty just asked me about. I started cleansing my body. And what I found was I started taking colloidal silver and oregano oil. And when I mentioned that earlier, Miss Angela Patterson wasn't on the stream at that point. The carvacrol, the main component which helps make oregano oil work, which helps make it an antiseptic, an antibacterial, an antifungal. It has properties, it has healing properties, healing modalities to the oil, that once you start taking it, it helps with your digestion, it helps with your intestines, it helps reduce bacteria, and it's also an antibiotic. So I started taking the oregano oil to help me whenever I would have problems with these asthma attacks 2 or 3 times a year, and these upper respiratory infections. So I say all that to say, I'm only here because I started asking myself questions. What can I do so I don't have to keep going to the doctor? And I started doing research. I started cleaning my colon. When I started cleaning my colon, I was losing all this weight, and my skin started clearing up. All the acne started clearing up. The acne on my shoulders and my arms and my back started clearing up. The acne on my face, and I kept getting the acne right here. And I kept getting all this acne up underneath my neck. I didn't know why, but I wasn't a trichologist. I wasn't into health and wellness like I am now. And boy, I tell you, I ain't had no problems with that acne. I haven't had no problems with it since, because I started doing more and more research. What more can I do to help my body naturally? I had really foul, thank you, Miss Ty, thank you for that. I started having foul smelling breath, because what I didn't understand was my gut and my lung axis was very poor. It needed a lot of work. It needed help. Now, I want y'all, when y'all get off of this stream, or y'all can look on it later, dip out and come right back, I want you to research the gut and lung axis. It's called the gut and lung axis for a reason. Just like we have the axis that leads us from the gut and the brain gut brain axis, When your gut is poor, you're not moving your bowels. That's why women have different problems with mood and memory and things like that, because that's one of the connections. When your gut is not moving, you're going to have cloudy, impaired thinking. So you have to clean that colon so that your body can do what it's supposed to do. It can allow the gut brain axis to work more efficiently. It can allow your lungs to be free of debris and bacteria, having fewer respiratory issues when you cleanse your gut. That's where that bad breath comes from, because your gut is poor. You got waste sitting in your gut and your digestion is poor. I'm going to save the story about my digestion for a later time, but I started doing a deep dive into what can I do to take care of myself naturally, because I didn't want to be a slave to antibiotics anymore. And just understanding those two things, I started doing it regularly. And when I would have upper respiratory problems or any problems, what's the first thing I would do? Get my colloidal silver, get my echinacea, my golden seal, get my oregano oil. That was it. That was it. Cleaning my colon. So I have fewer and fewer, not to say I don't have problems with asthma, because I still have problems with asthma, but I don't have it to the degree where I get the fluid and the mucus and the green and brown mucus that would eventually happen, because I would have to get on antibiotics because it would settle in my lungs because my gut was so poor. Now I include things in my diet where I don't have that waste in my gut and I don't have those subsequent issues anymore. So I digress. So I'm so sorry. So now I want to talk about how we're going to get this hair together. Now, when I see people on the street, when people come to me for a trichology exam, I know a lot of their experience just by looking at them. Now, as a holistic practitioner, when we examine the scalp, and this is what I teach to my hairdressers, my barbers, my braiders, my locticians, you need to train your eye on what it is that you see on the client. Once you get some of that information, you connect it with what it is that they've been experiencing, their medications, how they live their life, how they sleep, their stresses, their traumas, and you connect with what it is that you see, and you do a scan, you review their blood work, all of the pieces begin to fit, but you have to get trained and you have to train your eye. What I want to share with you is, and I myself have this issue. I have problems with my kidneys. I have a cyst on my kidney. I've always had a cyst on my kidney. And when I was in a car accident in 2022, and I had one of those big scans when you go into that big tunnel and they scan your whole body. They told me about the mass on my kidney then, so I already knew that I have problems with my kidneys, and it will show up here underneath your eyes. So I'm pretty sure you guys have seen me. When you see the puffiness and swelling under my eyes, it's because I have problems with my kidneys. And because I have problems with my kidneys, I have to do what I can to care for my kidneys. So I try to make sure I drink my dandelion root tea to detoxify my kidneys. I try to do my humble best, drinking a lot of water. My problem is salt. I like snacks. I like snacks. Jesus, I love snacks. I like pretzels. I like chips. I like anything crunchy. I like anything burnt. I love crunchy, salty snacks. That is my weakness. I am not perfect, but it has a problem with my kidneys. Now, I say all that to say right now, I want to share with you the many zones of the scalp. When you have edema and swelling here, that is letting you know that your kidneys aren't functioning as well as they should. When you have problems and they show up in the front of your hairline, when your hairline starts to get thinner, you start having that receding higher hairline, your kidneys are usually involved. When you have problems here from the top of this frontal area here, that is your kidney zone. When your kidneys are weak, you may have issues there. When you see edema and swelling, you will have to understand your kidneys probably need a little bit of help. Also, when you are having problems with your digestion, when you don't digest food well, when you've had those stomach surgeries, the sleeves, the gastric bypass, you will start to lose hair here in this front area. Now, this is the holistic practitioner's regions of the scalp zone. This is zone mapping. So when we see this, we know you're having a problem with your digestion before you even know it, before you're even able to put the pieces together. We know this already. So for TikTok, I'm working on this area here. I'm working on the regions of the scalp. So this is the kidney zone, and this is the digestion zone. So when you're not digesting, or when you've had problems with your stomach and your intestines, it will show up here. Now, here is the area of stress. When you're dealing with a lot of stress, it will show up here. A lot of people tend to lose hair right up in the top of the scalp. Now, we have the occipital, which is the back of this area here, that little hook. Now, I have I got a hook in the back of my head. Now, this area here, this is the occipital. This is that area. This is the occipital. On the side, this is the parietal ridge. So this is the parietal area, the parietal ridge. Then you have the frontal area. Now, I say all that to say the occipital to the frontal region is the region that I'm talking about right now. We have this kidney area, we have digestion, and we have the stress area, and then we have this area here that's circled. This area here, this is your inflammatory area and your nutrient zone. So when you are losing hair here, right above that hook area, because I got the hook. I got the hook, child. I got that hook. You see that? That's that hook. So this area here, this is that inflammation and nutrition zone. So these are the areas that I am talking about right now. When I see these areas here that are struggling, I can tell that you're having issues without you even having to tell me. I don't need microscopy to tell me you're having an issue. I know what the issue is. It's my goal to convey that to you through your scan, through your blood work, through your scalp analysis, and through your diet and lifestyle and your interview with me to tell you what it is that you're going through. Now, usually when my clients come in for a microscopy exam, I can tell through the quality of the hair that I take. I take it right from the area that's the top of the ear, right in this middle here, this area here. So if you have hair and you're not suffering the effects of like CCCA or anything that prevents me from taking hair from here, because a lot of people don't have hair right above the areas of the ear, I can, when I examine your hair and I examine the quality of your root sheath and the size of your root sheath and how much of it is left in the size and the density of your follicle, I already know what's going on with your hair. It's just up to you to pay attention and listen to what it is that we share with you and work in harmony with what it is that you see and what has been told, because it is a lot, but this is for that person who wants to find out what's going on and work on it. So I'm going to keep on moving. Now, next, on the left side of your head, the left side, on the left side, this is my mannequin, is your endocrine window. So here, this is the other side of the kidneys. And then you have your endocrine system. So when I see problems happening on the left side of the head, I know you are dealing with androgen issues, estrogen issues, FSH issues, LH issues, thyroid, pituitary, hypothalamus, endocrine, adrenal. This is the endocrine zone. So when you're losing your hair here on one side, it can be female cancers. It can be anything, but it's all endocrine related. Then the other side, when I see hair here on this side, this is your nervous system or your sympathetic nervous system zone. So when you're losing hair on the right side, I know that you're dealing with stressors. I just need you to be forthcoming with the information and share it with me so that we can help you work out a plan. When you're dealing with stress, you're dealing with trauma, you're dealing with things that are unresolved in your life, you will have nervous system issues on the right side of your head. Now, combined, we as psychologists and practitioners give you a plan to help you work on it and support your body's needs. However, if you don't allow someone to put all that into perspective for you, you're just going to be throwing caution to the wind. You're going to be trying Batana oil. You're just going to try this thing without knowing how the body works as a whole. Now, again, I said this earlier, you have the 11 major body systems that I concentrate on, and often I have to kind of remember them all myself. We have the circulatory system, that's the heart and the blood flow, the arteries and veins. We have the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. We have the digestive system, which is the stomach. Then we have the intestinal system, which is the small intestine and the large intestine, and that distributes fecal waste. You have the hepatic system, which is the liver. You have the urinary system. You have the lymphatic system, which is the brain. You have, let me see, let me go through all of my systems because I told y'all, even I forget sometimes. You have the lymphatic system, and I was talking about the lymph in the base of your neck. You have the integumentary system, which is the skin. You have the immune system, which is the gut, and the thymus gland, and taking care of that. You have the respiratory system, which is the lungs. There are so many overlapping body systems. And when you do not strengthen the body as a whole and you just keep working on one little thing, oh, well, I'm just going to work on this. I'm just going to put some rosemary and some rice water on my hair. You have just told the rest of your body, well, what about me? I'm not important. You have to work on the body as a whole. You need a system and a plan to help nourish and support your body as a whole. Because if you just think you're just going to put a crochet and a protective style on your head and you just forgetting about the whole body, make that make sense. How are you supposed to grow some hair when you just focus on one aspect? You can't focus on the outside of your skin by putting it in a crochet or protective, so-called protective style. What you protecting? When you're not cleaning your scalp, you're not worried about what's going on beneath the surface of the skin. You're not worried about what's going on through these arteries and veins. When you're not worried about what you're feeding your body, how you think you can grow some hair? No, you can't do that. So you have to think about the body as a whole. So as a trichologist, we like to give you a plan. So I started talking about the zones of the scalp and helping you understand when we see you, when we're talking to you, that's why we need to see you over either a virtual call or in person so we can understand what it is that you're up against, what you're experiencing. Last but not least, what I also want to help you all understand about the zones and the regions of the scalp, I can tell what you're going through before you even sit in my chair. Let me get my glasses back. Sorry, everybody, because when I don't have my glasses on, I can't see my comments because I can't read up close. So, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, if y'all have any more questions, please let me know. Just put them up. Now, last but not least, what I want to share with you is when I see women, a lot of you guys don't have any hair here in the base of your neck and above your ears. This is the zone for immunity. You get my. This is the zone for immunity. I'm going to draw it on and I'm going to connect it. Close my cap before this dries out. So this whole area here above the ear, when you lose hair here and you lose it in the back of your neck and above your ear. So it can be just above your ear or it can just be the base of your neck. This is the gut and the immunity zone. This is backwards, but it's gut, G-U-T, and immunity. That's letting me know you're having weak gut and weak immunity. I've had plenty of people, plenty of mature women, plenty of mature men that come through, and then they'll say, "Oh well, this never grew back here, and it don't grow, and I don't know what to do." And then I tell you what it is, and then you're going to give me 12 excuses for why. Oh, that ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. Okay, because that ain't it. So you'll be forced to just have very thin, sparse hair in the back of your neck until you do something about it. I have people tell me, "Oh well, have surgery. I don't go to the bathroom well. I go to the bathroom once a week. I've always had problems with my immune system." And I just say, "Oh, I bet you do, because I know you do. I already know that." But you have to open your mind and say, if I want to get this hair growing, I have to do what someone tells me it is, because we don't know it all. We have to visit a professional that will help us with the information. But if you don't allow someone like myself to help you with the information, you're not going to get it. So that whole area above the ears, when you lose it, and then when you lose that hair in the back of your neck, that is your gut and your immunity. That is your digestion. You're holding on to waste. You need to get pre and probiotic fiber. You need to give yourself good bacteria in your gut. You need to clear out that waste out of your colon. You need to work on your immunity with things like echinacea, golden seal, and different products that are out there. There are tons of products out there to help you with your immunity, help you support your immunity. That is the window of immunity. And when your immunity is weak, when your thymus gland is weak, and your immune system is weak, that's one of the places it will show up. So I have a, oh, thank you. Somebody just scheduled an appointment. I don't know who that was. I can't see it. But I'll tell you something quick. Now, I just said to y'all that, okay, all right, Miss Libby Meadows. Oh, Libby Meadows, I'm gonna have to stay in touch with you because I'm a JW too. My meeting was moved to 3 o'clock. I'm gonna have to inbox you. Thank you for joining me, sister. I appreciate it. Libby Meadows. All right, because mine is at 3. So please text me. I'm gonna try to inbox you. So, Rejoy, I'm gonna get back to that in just a second. I got a fun fact that I want to share with you about my own hair, and I will share with you that I have my own kidney issues, and I have issues with my digestion. And like I said, I had to work on mine with the colon cleanse and with the natural wellness products. I have my own issues that continue to plague me that I have to keep working on myself. So Miss RDH Joy said, what did you say we have hair loss in the crown of your head as a result of what? So it's a series of things, Miss Joy. Mr. Joy, I don't know who it is because there's no face and no picture attached. This entire area here on the top of your scalp, and I want you to kind of listen. Now, for some who have different head shapes, if you can see this big black line, this is still the top of the scalp. So there is a nutrient absorption. You're not getting the necessary nutrients, and it's also an area that becomes inflamed. This is an inflammatory window. Now, this, along with stress, this is your stress area. When you've been dealing with a lot of stress, your stress will show up right on the top of your head, right above the area above the ear. Nutrient and inflammation. So when you're not getting the right mix of nutrients or not enough nutrients, this is where it will show up. Inflammation will show up here. A lot of women, a lot of black women I see, they just losing this hair right here, right here. And then when you reduce the inflammation in your body and you give yourself what it needs, this will clear up when you start treating it. This is the area of stress. This is the stress window, and the front is the digestion window along with kidneys. So RDH Joy, let me know if you got that because I'm not going back to that anymore because I can't move forward if I have to keep addressing stuff. And I'm sorry I don't mean it like that, but I want to move on. So what I want to share with you is you have to pay attention to the zones of your scalp. And I'm going to share with you something that's going on with me that I have to work on, and I know that I have a problem with myself. So, like I said to you guys, the front is the kidneys. This little area here, I'm not sure if you can see it. I got a little tiny spot of alopecia areata right here. It's a little tiny spot. You can't see it, but I'm trying to hold my head in different areas. This is the kidney zone, and it's also an area of alopecia areata. I have my own amount of stress in my life. I'm married, I'm a mom, I'm a small business owner. I have my own issues, and sometimes stress, gets to me too. When you're dealing with alopecia areata, it is a problem with the sympathetic nervous system and your immunity. So I know my immunity is weak. I know I'm under a certain amount of stress, and I know my kidneys are weak. I know I have weak kidneys, and I just shared it with you all. But what I am saying that to say is when you're having challenges with your hair and your scalp, you have to listen to your body and recognize it. Your body is holistically trying to tell you, fix me, fix me, fix me, fix me. If you're losing hair on your scalp, it's for a reason. And you have to do the work to find out what it is and fix it. So, Carol Bunch, you said, so this helped me understand why my hair fell out after gastric bypass. It's been almost 5 years. Yes, ma'am. And I apologize that you will not be able to get it back because, it's tough. That's a tough journey for the body to have to undertake, trying to consistently grow hair when it's not getting enough nutrients, when it's not getting enough protein. The protein we eat has to break down into amino acids to form new cells. When you have gastric bypass, when you have the gastric sleeve, and you have interrupted that channel and that process, those two delicate processes, you're never going to get the nutrients you need because the rest of the body is starving for nutrients. The hair is always left at the end. Hair, skin, and nails gets 20% of what you feed it when you feed it good nutrients. So if you've affected the the stomach and the intestines. You affected it. We might as well kiss the quality of your hair goodbye. It's just not going to come back, and I apologize for that. So I just want to know if you guys have any more questions, because I'm going to dip back around to Instagram to see if anybody asked me any questions, and I feel bad that I haven't been there. Okay, okay. I don't see any questions. Okay, I just want to keep going. All right. Okay, okay. So I don't have any more questions on Facebook. Want to see if anybody here on TikTok sent me any questions? No, they didn't. So pay attention to what your body is trying to tell you. Pay attention. So Miss Carol said, oh, this phone. Carol Bunch said, I just keep my scalp clean and moisturized, and wigs are my new besties. Yes, please keep your wigs clean, because the bacteria and the fungus and the yeast in the wigs, because you don't clean the wigs, are just as bad if you want to keep taking them on and off and you're not cleaning them. It's just like a hat. You have to clean the hoods on your coats. Like every winter, I clean my coats and clean the hoods and clean the hats. You got to keep your scarves clean. You got to keep the wigs clean, because they're loaded with sweat and debris and urea and bacteria. You got to keep all that stuff on your scalp clean. Just because you're wearing the wig, you have to keep them clean. So I wanted to say all that to say, please, you guys, you got to watch your body. You have to understand what your body is trying to tell you. With those zones of the scalp, when it starts to show up, you have to listen. And you don't have forever to get your hair back. A lot of people, they're going to, thanks, Miss Carol. A lot of us, we don't put ourselves first. We want to put the husband first, the grandkids first, the parents that's living with us first, the kids that came home from college. We want to put work first. We want to put the best friend first. We want to put everybody else first, but we're not first. You have to put yourself first and understand you are important. You got one life to live and one head. You're not getting no more hair. We ain't getting no more hair into the new system until we're in that earthly paradise. Then everything will be perfect. But now we got to work for it. What you're going to have to do is find a holistic practitioner, find a trichologist, even your dermatologist. Find someone who's skilled that can assist you in giving you a plan so that you can get your hair back. I offer 15-minute consultations so that I can hear what it is that you're experiencing, and then I tell you the 4 things that I offer. Now, for the person who is ready, willing, and able to invest in themselves, I offer 4 different platforms. You can get a quickie evaluation. You can get the standard evaluation. You can get an evaluation with an intolerance test and a blood typing test. And then you can get a test with microscopy exam. And that really lets you know what's going on, because I am pulling your hair out of your hair follicle, and I'm examining it under a microscope, and you see it clearly. I share with you what your hair looks like under a microscope. And you can tell me whatever, but you can't lie when I look at your hair that I pull from your scalp under a microscope. So I invite everyone, if your hair is important to you, venture on over to my website, schedule a 15-minute consultation. Let me share with you what it is that we offer so that we can help you get your hair back. If you want help, I'll give you help. But if you think you want to get everything for free, you cannot, because I can't analyze your life in 15 minutes. It requires data. I can't help you with anything until you venture on and you schedule a 1-hour session, and then I can review your bioscan. I can review your scan if you're virtual and you're in another state or another country. I can review your blood work. I can review your scalp, because I can ship you out a microscope, or you can visit me here in person. So I can't help you with anything unless I have data. So a lot of people come on my 15-minute call and say, well, I just want to know how to grow my hair back. I don't know you. I don't know nothing about you. I don't know. If you just want something quick, you can go to my website and buy anything off the website. Will it work? I don't know. And I tell everyone, stop just doing stuff, because your body needs specific things. When my clients come in for a scan, I tell them all the time, your body will tell me everything that it needs. All you have to do is work on what your scan says you need. If it says that you're not balancing your blood sugar well, then we got to help you with your stress level. We got to help you with the food that you're taking in. We have to help you with your diet, because you're not regulating your blood sugar well. Your A1C, all of that is in the toilet. If your circulatory health is poor, we have to help you improve circulation. If your lymphatic drainage is poor, we have to help you work on your lymphatic drainage. If your digestion, if you can't digest your food and you got GERD and you're nauseated every time you eat, then you're not going to be able to take enough minerals to have healthy hair. If you're not going to the bathroom, we have to help you with that. If we find out that your liver is fatty, we got to work on that because your liver is screaming, it's sick and it's full of sugar, it's inflamed and it's walking around like this. So if we can't help you with your liver, if we can't help you with what your body needs, you're not going to be able to grow hair well. If you are having a problem with your hormones, we have to help support your body's hormones. If you're on GLP-1s, now we got to help you with that. There are different things that we have to focus on. That's why I say I have to speak with you for 15 minutes, and then you can migrate into an appointment with me because I can't help you in 15 minutes. I can't solve the world's problems in 15 minutes. You just cannot. I have to spend some time with you and talk to you and find out what's going on in your life. So I have I've talked briefly about CCCA and its different types and how they show up. I've also talked about the zones of the scalp, the kidney zone, the kidneys that um, encompass this frontal area here all the way to the temporal area. You know, you have the temples. If somebody hits you in your temple, they can kill you. So you have the temporal area, then you have the frontal area. So the frontal area is the kidneys. So when your kidneys are not working that great, when you have kidney issues, kidney trauma, adrenal issues, it will show up here. This is the digestion window. So when my clients are not digesting their food properly, when they have gastric and stomach surgeries, that will show up here. When you're having a problem with your digestion, it will show up here. Stress will show up here. Nutrients and lack of nutrients and inflammation will show up here. Now, I have men that'll come in and they'll say, "Oh, can you recommend me some DHT blockers? You know, because I'm losing my hair in the back." And I say, "You don't need DHT for that because every bit of your hairline is still nice and chiseled. You got all of your hairline. You don't have a problem with DHT. You have a problem with nutrients and inflammation." And they'll say, "Oh, no, I don't." I'm like, "Okay, you keep taking that DHT blocker if you want." The DHT has different things that it does to the body. It helps with men's the voice box. It helps deepen the voice. It helps with regulate weight. It helps with androgen production. Often, when companies put things out in the marketplace, they're just trying to sell us stuff, and that's where y'all get caught up. Y'all just want to get on the hype and get a DHT blocker. When you're blocking something that's naturally occurring in the body, you don't always need to have a DHT blocker. You need to work on your body's issues. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of systems in the body. You need to work on your body's systems and work on your inflammation and the needs of the body. Not worry about DHT because you're blocking something that needs to occur in the body. Look up DHT and look up the beneficial effects and what DHT does to the body before you decide to block it. It's just like this medication y'all want to keep taking that the doctor gives you. Y'all want to keep taking all this medication, but then you don't want to read the side effects. So you have to understand what the stuff is that you're taking in, what it does to you. So I'll say this to say again, Miss Evangelist Thomas, for the hair test, can you explain? Explain what, ma'am? What do you want me to explain? I can't explain anything about a hair test. It's a microscopic hair test. We take a microscopy exam, we examine it under a microscope, and we show you what your hair looks like. We pull it out from your scalp in a certain area of your scalp. What is it that I can explain? We yank it out and we examine it under a microscope. We take a microscope and we look at your scalp to examine the quality of your scalp. What is it you want me to explain? I'm not sure if I can explain that. All I can tell you is what we do. So please share with me what information that you want. Since you said for the hair test, can explain. Explain what? Make that a bit more clear, because when you guys send me 2 or 3 word sentences, I don't know enough. You have to give me more information. So if any of you guys here on TikTok, let me know if you are having any challenges with your hair, if you're having any challenge with your scalp. If you have any questions you want me to answer, I will answer them, because I'm going to move on, and I'm going to move on to education. And this is for my hairstylists in the building who get to watch this stream a little bit later. Hairstylists, there are a lot of us. Oh, I didn't mean to ask you to come in. I'm sorry. I was trying to scroll up. I didn't mean to ask you to come into the stream. I was trying to see if I had any questions. I think I invited you by mistake. I'm sorry. Evangelist S. Thomas, if you can, take your time, slow down, and just put all that information in, because it just came as does what? Just let me know. For my hairstylists, for my barbers, my locticians, and my braiders, my nurse practitioners, anyone who is in the path of someone who has hair growth, suffers hair loss, who has problems with their scalp, this is for you. We need more qualified practitioners in every state, in every city, in every county, every country in the world. I train anyone who wants to learn how to be a hair loss practitioner. You, if you come in contact with hair and scalp, 9 times out of 10, someone's going to have an inflamed scalp, an itchy scalp. They're going to be losing hair. They're going to have problems with their scalp, and they need to understand why things are occurring in the body so that they can transfer the information to their client so their client can understand, how do I get better? How do I get my hair back? How do I stop my hair from falling out? When you want to learn how to be that next level professional, when you want to increase your income, when you want to increase your knowledge and your skill set and offer more to your clients other than just being the best and the baddest quick weave artist or the quickest cutter on the map, it's more than that. We have people losing their hair in record numbers. We have people suffering CCCA, scarring alopecia, thin hair, hypotrichia, cellulitis, folliculitis, all of the scarring forms of alopecia and the non-scarring alopecias. Someone asked about non-scarring. We have people losing their hair in record numbers. However, we don't have enough qualified professionals to learn how to do it. For a limited time only, I am taking half off of my educational program. You can learn how to be a trichologist and a hair loss professional online, virtually. My program is half off for those who are on this call who send me a message that say they want to learn how to become a hair loss practitioner and a trichologist. What it involves is in-depth study. I work with you. You're involved in the community on Facebook. We meet in a weekly Zoom call every single week. We're doing questions and answers. You're posting your images to the Facebook group. You're letting me know what it is that you see in your chair on a weekly basis, and we talk about it. You forward me your client's information, and I share with you how to conduct your consultation, how to help them, what to recommend them. And in the 12-week course, you're learning everything you possibly need to know that's going to help you transition to become a hair loss professional and into the trichologist that you know you are, that you want to be. Hairstylists. Yes, there are hairstylists that are whipping up things and whipping up essential oils and putting detoxes on, and they're doing the most. However, you have to transition and get the knowledge so that you can become more efficient instead of just applying topical things to the outside of the body. You have to learn the material. You have to be engrossed in the study and get that certificate so you can share with your clients. This is why I recommend it, because I have a certificate on my wall to prove it. I am a practitioner. I practice in this walk. I know what it is that I'm doing. Allow me to help you, and you can command that extra income. Because I tell you one thing, I was tired of standing on my feet, doing 8, 10, 12 clients a day, killing myself, going home. My body was a wreck. And I said, you know what? I'm going to offer more trichology services, more hair loss practitioner services. And for those who I couldn't help restore their hair, I became a non-surgical hair replacement specialist. Learning how to apply toupees, lace units, non-surgical hair loss practitioner services, cranioprosthesis, that upped the game for me. That allowed me to enter into a level of income that I didn't need to work and do 10 to 12 people a day. I can do 1 to 2 and make the same income, because the level of income is different and your skill set is different when I was offering trichology and when I was offering non-surgical hair replacement. So for a limited time only, my trainings are half off to any practitioner, any beauty professional who wants to learn how to become a hair loss practitioner, or who wants to enter any of my non-surgical hair replacement training courses. 50% off only to those who sign up and let me know I was on your stream and I want to take part in your training. Please send me the coupon code, because the coupon code will never be posted, because each week I offer a different coupon. So this week, if you see any of the information regarding this stream, whether it's on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, if you are present and you want to take advantage of any of our programs, non-surgical hair replacement training, and we have 4, or if you want to take advantage of the hair loss practitioner trichology training, inbox me. I will give you the coupon so that you can start your training. You will be a part of a Facebook group. You will be a part of the weekly Zooms, and I will hold your hand personally to help you understand what it is that you need with any product and situation that you face. I teach you to understand what you see under that microscope and to train your eye so that you can know what it is that you see. If you see inflammation, if you see yeast and fungus, if you see different things occurring in your client's life, it's going to be certain things. And then when you see their blood work, when you see their scans, you're going to be able to put the pieces together, but you have to be trained. This is a skill that's not going to faint of heart because you have to stay involved in the study. This is not something you're just going to take advantage of. You're going to take the course and that's it, because it's for some people and then for some people it's not. I know plenty of people who have taken the practitioner information and never do anything else with it. And they just say, oh, I'm a practitioner, but they're not involved in the study. They don't continue to maximize their what they have learned by continuing and going to events and different trade events and practitioner events, and they don't stay in groups because there's a lot of information. For me, myself, I follow plenty of dermatologists. I read plenty of NIH journals, PubMed journals. I stay involved in my study because there's always something new for me to learn. And there are clients who come to me with issues, and I'm like, oh, I know nothing about that. Now I got to sit and go study. So I don't know everything, and I'm continuously learning and adding to my holistic skill set each and every day, because there are a lot of people who don't want to heal and take care of their bodies with medicine. Some people want to use the energies of their own body and the energies of the sun and different other healing modalities to help their bodies. There are a lot of people that don't want to use medicine for everything, and they want other ways to deal with things. And I challenge you, if you within sound of my voice and you're a professional and you want to learn how to do this, please let me know. 50% off only until next week, until I have the next offer for next Sunday, because this is today, January 4th. 50% off to anyone who wants to take any of the courses. Next week it'll be something else and it won't apply, but you have to inbox me for the code. Now for my my offers for those who are still on, I invite you, if you're having any challenges with your hair, any challenges with your scalp, I invite you to reach out just to connect with me to see what it is that I can do for you. I would say don't be so concerned about how I can help you virtually, because as long as there's a Zoom call, a WhatsApp video, a Facebook video, a Teams video, a Skype video, as long as I can see you and you're sitting in front of me, that's called a virtual session. Even doctors do that. That came more into popularity with COVID. All the doctors, because they don't want you sitting in their offices infecting them, so they have made that more popular. I ship you out a microscope. You take images of your hair and your scalp, and they will look like this. So when you take those images for me, and you will get it right. You don't have to worry about not getting it right, because when you submit them, you have to submit them before your appointment. When you submit them to me, if they're not right, I'm going to tell you, and then you're going to have to send them to me again. So I'm going to share with you what the scalp will look like when you take the pictures. And when you take these pictures, I am going to see your hair, and I'm going to tell you what it is that I see based on what you sent to me. Now, these are just some images of some clients' scalp that I took while I was here. I'm just going to tap on that. Now, this is me with the client, because I usually take a video of every client, because people out here in these streets, they'll go to their credit card company and they'll say, oh, no, I want to reverse my charge because I didn't have the consultation. Thank you, Ms. Joy Zelaya. Thank you very much. I'll have people that'll go to their credit card companies and say, I didn't have that consultation and I don't know how this charge got on my phone. And what do? I send the credit card company the video and I let them know, oh, yes, they sat here for the whole hour. They got everything, because people play too much. So this is what you will do when you have a virtual consultation with me. You will take pictures for me with the scope that I will send to you. And if I see follicles, I'm going to help you grow that hair. This is what you'll be sending me. You'll be taking pictures for me. And this is what I do when you come to my trichology center. This is your scalp exam. This is your tricho exam. I take pictures of your scalp and I share with you what I see. I share with you what your scalp looks like. If I see oil, if I see too much debris, too much grease, I'm putting a plan together for you so that you can work on it. So this is what the pictures will look like. This is your hair under the microscope. And you will do this because I will ship you that microscope and you're going to take those pictures. And if they don't look right, I'm going to have you take them again. So don't worry about how I do it. The first thing someone says to me all the time is, how do you do a virtual consultation? The same way a doctor does, with a computer and an internet connection. We get on that Zoom call or whatever kind of platform it is, and we make it work. I send you electronic forms that you complete. You send me your blood work. We get the scans done, and that's how we do it. When you come in person, we do it for you in person. So what I am offering to those who are ready. Now, this is only for those who are ready because I don't mess with anybody that doesn't put themselves first. If you don't answer my texts, you don't answer my emails, you don't answer my calls, I'm just going to give you your money back because I can tell who's going to work at it by the way you respond. If you don't answer my text, I know it's going to be hard to reach you. You're not going to send me the pictures. You're not going to work well. You're not going to send me the pictures of your pH test because you work through weekly pH test. If I see that you're not forthcoming and you don't get back to me, I know you're not going to value it. If you reach out to us and you get a 15-minute session, let us understand some of your concerns, what it is that you're going through, what is your experiencing. Have you been to the dermatologist? Tell us about what you have gone through with your hair. What we will offer you is one of 4 sessions. Now we have a quickie session. Okay, Joy Zelaya, do you suggest a list of labs? Yes. However, we ask that you get on the call first. Don't put the cart before the horse. Get on the call first based on the type of symptoms you are experiencing, because not everyone needs the same labs. When you have autoimmune issues, you need certain type of labs. If you have lupus and you have psoriasis and different autoimmune issues, those require certain types of labs. Me, I don't have autoimmune issues, so I don't need those labs. If you have endocrine issues, I need certain kind of labs. If you have just general hair loss and thinning, I'm just going to recommend a certain set. However, I suggest everyone get on call first. Get on call. Just get on a call. Don't ask me about labs before you get on a call. I don't even know you yet to know what to recommend you. Get on a call. Tell us about your experience. Then, based on what it is you're sharing with me, I'll tell you what labs to get. A lot of you have labs already. You may just need to go to LabCorp or Quest and just get some extra things. What we usually suggest is that you get a full CBC with a differential, but based on some other things that you may share with me, Miss Joy, I may ask you to do something else or add to it based on your particular experience because everyone's experience is different. No one comes from the same cloth. Everybody's not cut from the same cloth, so I don't recommend the same thing for everybody. That's why I recommend everyone have a 15-minute session to let me learn about you first, then I can tell you what to recommend. Then I have a quickie evaluation where you will just come in based on you telling me you're having hair loss. You come in, just let me look at your scalp. I can tell you a lot by just looking at your scalp. You don't have to give me no blood work. You're not getting no scans. You're not getting nothing. You can do a quickie evaluation. Then you can do the general evaluation, which is we're going to do your blood typing. We're going to look at your scalp. We're going to review your nutrition. We're going to look at your blood work, and we're going to give you a treatment plan. So that's the mid-range, the basic. Then if I find that you need it, we may have to recommend you an intolerance test. The intolerance test is not an allergy test. Allergy is an allergy test. Intolerance is intolerance. There's a difference. If you need to, you can look it up. We'll do an intolerance test. If we need to find out that you're having some gut triggers, autoimmune issues, there may be some things I need you to remove from your diet completely, but you have to do with an intolerance test. That's not included with 1 and 2. Your intolerance test can be an upgrade. And then also, if you want me to look at your hair and connect with you on a regular basis to see how your hair is doing, I will also provide you a microscopy exam where I am looking at your hair under a microscope and I am examining your root sheath. I'm examining the size of your hair follicle that I extract from your scalp. I can see from the size of your follicle from what I extracted if you've been thinning, if you're suffering a different sort of alopecia and your hair has been thinning for a while. Once I analyze those 15 to 20 hairs and I determine that a certain percentage of them have miniaturized, then you are indeed suffering from some sort of hormonal male or female pattern hair issue. If I see that you have striations on your hair fiber, I know that you are having you dealing with some stress and you're dealing with some issues that we need to help you work on. You're dealing with some trauma and things like that. There's a lot that I can see by looking at your hair under a microscope. If I see that you have inherited defects, you may have inherited issues in your family that you didn't even know about. I can see them once I put your hair on a microscope. I'm able to see beads and rings on the hair. If the hair has different kinks and swirls in it, that lets me know different things about you. So we have 4 different programs for you. But however, we encourage everyone, if you want to work on your hair and scalp, you have to start out with a plan. If you want to, I'm sorry, everybody. If you want to go to Miami and you live in New York, you can just take I-95 all the way straight through to Florida. Yes, you can. But there are others like myself who we need directions. I can't just jump in my car and drive to Florida because I know I'm going to get lost. And I'm going to wind up somewhere I don't need to be. For those of you who need clear cut information, who need directions, you need assistance, you need a plan, you need a treatment plan. Now, can you just sit at home and think you can just, magically grow your own hair back? Yeah, you can. You can. But I'm talking to those. I'm trying to put this in my phone because my power is about to go off. I'm about to lose power, lose strength. There are those of us who need help. We need someone to help us. We need someone to hold our hand and help us get our hair back. I'm talking to those. If you want a treatment plan, you want some help, I'm here to help you. However, okay, this ain't working. I'm on it. If you don't believe that price is an issue in absence of value, I'm gonna make a clear point. A lot of people will price gouge everything. How much is that? How much is that? Instead of looking at the issue. I need help. A certain person has the information. I'm going to spare the suspense, get this information, and I'm going to deal with it. If you're one that everything, how much is that? That's expensive. That's expensive. No, you just don't want to pay for it. It's probably just too much for you in your mind. But there are sometimes where you need to treat yourself and you need to take advantage of something that's helpful for you. Use that HSA, use that FSA at work, use your care credit, use your cherry, use your affirm. I don't know what you got to do. Find some way to make it affordable for you because when you're losing your hair, if you don't utilize the help of a professional, you may lose the rest of it. So I say all this to say our treatment plans are here for you. However, for me as a specialist, I have to do my best work. I can't do any work without any data. Sometimes for me to get data, it requires for you to take advantage of certain things here in my trichology center. This is for those who value themselves, place themselves first, and know I have to do this for me. I got to do this for me. You can't analyze everything with price. If you analyze everything with price, you don't value it enough. And anything you don't work for, you're not going to value anyway. So I say this again, I am here for you. Reach out to me, get a 15-minute session, and then find out which program works best for you so that we can help get you your hair back and get you on a plan that's going to promote some progress for you. So someone on Facebook, yes, Miss Joy said, I love it here already. I appreciate that. And also, yes, your crown is an investment. You have to take care of it and you have to do the work. And Joy said, if I went to a derm and had a biopsy, would you need that? It's very helpful. It's helpful. Very, very helpful for you to provide me with what it is that your derm says, because actually I'm able to negate or improve upon what your derm gives me. Often a derm will tell me that you have traction alopecia when I've just shared with everyone who's been on the call with me for this long. The traction does not occur here. Traction occurs here. Traction occurs here. Traction occurs here. So when you go to a derm and a derm says you have traction alopecia, I like to use that information. If they put that in your notes and they've given you that and they've written it down, they said you have traction, I make it my goal to do what I can to restore that hair. When your derm says it will not grow back, I do my very best to figure out what I need to do to help support you so that we can get that hair back. I want to make sure that if it said traction or if they said it won't go back, I'm going to do my humble best to do what I can to make any of the remaining follicles that are still active, that I can still reach. I'm going to help you put a plan together to bring you that hair back. So it always helps for you to have a declaration. It always helps to have an imprint from your derm to tell you what kind of syndrome, what kind of diagnosis you have. It's up to me to help work on the comorbidities and the issues and your symptoms and give you a manageable plan to help restore what we can. So I love for everyone to go to a dermatologist because having a dermatologist in your hip pocket, it helps. However, what I do say is you have to examine the what they recommend for you. Sometimes the shots, it's helping you reduce the white blood cell attack on your follicles immediately. Sometimes it's going to help you reduce inflammation immediately. However, in certain clients, I have had certain clients lose hair when they've gotten the shot because having a needle pricked into your skin for anyone at any time is a source of trauma. Sometimes it has a negative effect, and some clients develop alopecia areata from the shot. So often I say, just because they have it, sometimes I don't always recommend you take advantage of it. However, I would never say don't go to your dermatologist. They may give you spironolactone. That's an androgen modifier. Now, I don't always say take these products, the minoxidil, the finasteride, dutasteride, spironolactone. Sometimes I don't recommend it, but if they're going to give it to you, try it. I'm going to work around what I can do to support your body so that you can get your hair back. So yes, this is your dermatologist, but be wary of some of the treatments that they offer. With the minoxidil, some people develop side issues. They develop headaches. They develop dark eyes, dark circles under their eyes. They start having edema and swelling in their ankles. I just sat on a 3-hour dermatology study. It was Dr. Donovan. I love studying Dr. Donovan. Dr. Donovan had a 3-hour study where he evaluated minoxidil. And him as a dermatologist even talked about some of the effects that happen from using minoxidil. So for some people, yes, it will grow your hair back. But what I always say, and what I've said on my YouTube, my Facebook, and my TikTok, yes, you can use a minoxidil, but work on the issues of your body that required you to have to use the minoxidil in the first place. Because if you use a minoxidil, you have to use it for life. Because once you stop and you didn't fix everything that's going on with the 11 body systems, if you didn't fix that, you're going to continue having hair loss because you didn't fix the issue. You didn't fix the digestion. You didn't fix the androgens and the estrogen. You didn't fix the stomach and the kidneys and the colon and your cortisol. You didn't fix what's driving the hair loss. So when you stop your minoxidil, yes, your hair loss may come back. Then you have to get through the period of the dreaded hair shed, the dread shed. You start using minoxidil, a lot of people, they will have a temporary effluvium or the dread shed that will occur from using the minoxidil. If you have the dread shed, more than likely the minoxidil is going to work because it's helping to cause an outflow of the hair from the follicles, but it's going to restore itself. However, once you get past the dread shed and you use it for 3 to 6 months, you will see hair come back, but then you have to deal with the side effects. So I say that to say, try a natural product as opposed to a prescription. A prescription will have side effects, but a herb will have health benefits. So try natural products. Try some products that I have on my website. I have the Cell Food product, the Holistic Practitioner of Trichology Cell Food product. I have Hair Fact. I also have the Pure Au Naturals products. I have the Nouritress products. They're all very, very good. If you want to use something topical on your scalp to help promote growth, try those because they will have no side effects in the body because they're all herbal based. They're all health and wellness based. Do they take longer? Yes, they take longer, but you will not have the dread shed. and you don't have to worry about, oh, we'll have to keep using this forever. If it helps restore your hair and you worked on some of your body's needs, you may not have to keep using it, and you don't have to worry about your hair falling back out. But you have to be wise and understand that if you never address any of the issues in the first place, the hair loss, the thinning hair is just going to return. So for those who take advantage who are on this call, and this is only for the week only, if you reach out and say, I was on your live stream, I want to take advantage of these. For anyone who migrates from a 15-minute session and gets an hour-long session, I need you to book a 15-minute session and say, I was on your live stream. I will grant you a 1 hour session. When you get your 1 hour session that you're going to have to pay for, I'm not sure whatever one you want to choose, whatever levels you want to choose. Once you choose a 1 hour session, I will give you a free set of 4 scalp treatments. This is 4 scalp treatments to restore your hair and scalp's balance. It's going to encompass stem cell treatments, exosomes, polypeptides if you need it, mesotherapy, high frequency current, red light therapy. You're going to be able to sit on the EMF mat. There are different things that we're going to be able to do, and we're also going to do collagen stimulation, among other things. Within an hour-long session, you get 4 restorative treatment sessions if you schedule a 1 hour session. But you have to get on my call and book the 15-minute session. Say you on my live stream. After you get off that 15-minute session, you want to have to get your 1 hour session and say, I was on your stream. I want those 4 free treatment sessions. Because if not, and you just, hit me up later 3 months from now, you're going to have to just pay for those regular, because that's part of the treatment plan. But the 4 treatment sessions, you're not getting your hair done. These are 4 treatment sessions to help restore the balance of your scalp, get your hair back, and reduce inflammation on your scalp, reduce yeast, reduce problems with seborrhea, reduce your dandruff, clear your scalp of waste so that you can get your hair back. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined me today. And Joy, I want you to understand that we only take HSA, FSA, we take Affirm, we take Cherry, we take payment plans because we are a health and wellness provider. We do not take insurance because I am a hairdresser. You cannot pay for anything for insurance with a hairdresser. So trichologists, we have not been able to get to the point where you can use health insurance to take care of any of our services. So that is a no, a hard no. Thank you that you understand. We're not able to do that at this time. However, we do have payment plans available for you. And if you can use your HSA. Because I have plenty of people that use their HSA for all of our health and wellness products, for the non-surgical hair replacement, for any of our health and wellness scans. You can use your HSA for that. We do take Cherry. We do offer you invoiced payment plans. However, you are not able to take advantage of the services until all of those items are paid for. And I have to private invoice you. But you can do care credit because we're a health and wellness provider. You can do Cherry. You can do Affirm. You can do all of that. However, just meet me for a 15-minute call so that you can find out how we can make this work for you. So I just wanted to say thank you, because I have literally been on here since 8 o'clock, and it is now 10:43, and I did what TikTok asked me to do. They asked me to stay on here for 2 hours, and I did. So I just want to let everyone know, if you need me, you can send me an inbox. Send me an inbox and ask me any questions that you have. Ask me any questions. If you have questions, I will definitely answer them for you. If you need me, you can always leave me an inbox. However, if you don't check your inbox, it's not really going to be of any help, because people inbox me all the time, and then they don't check their messages. So sometimes I hate sending messages back when y'all don't return your messages or answer your messages. So I am here. So, Ms. Joy, you said you're in the process of booking a 15-minute session. I'm glad that you brought this live. Thank you very, very much, and I appreciate that. And if you migrate onto a 1 hour session, you do get 4 treatment sessions here in our Pleasantville location. So I'm going to go back to Instagram to see if I had any questions. Don't have any questions. Let me see if I can go to my YouTube, see if anybody had any questions for me. Just want to answer any questions. Give me 1 second, everybody. No questions there, Janelle. Okay, so I just want to say thank you and thank you everybody. Yes, we're in New Jersey. Yes, ma'am. And if you need anything, you just let me know. If you found my information, you're going to get SMS messages and you're going to get email messages from me. If you don't respond to the text messages, I will cancel your appointment because I have to leave my schedule open for people who value this information, who are going to show up and who are going to pay attention. If you schedule it and you don't add it to your Google Calendar or you don't add it to your calendar and you miss it, you will never be able to schedule another session with me because you don't value the information. I have plenty of people who sign up and they don't follow through. So what is happening is I've had to assess a fee that is refundable once you show up to the call. If you don't show up to the call, you don't get the money back. It's just like visiting your doctor or your hairstylist or anyone else. If you schedule an appointment and you don't show up, you don't get the money back. But if you show up to the 15-minute session, we instantly refund that to your card because we've had too many people schedule a 15-minute session and they don't show. So when you do go to our session, it is free, but you have to show up and you get it back. So it's free in that respect because it used to be totally free, but I would get mobbed with 15-minute sessions and then 70% of them would be no shows. So I literally would be wasting time sitting, texting back to people and they don't show up. So I just want to let you all know that I am here for you if you want to do the work. So I just want to let you know, please, 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 venture on over to my website, schedule a 15-minute call, and I'm here for you. So I just want to say thank you again and love, peace, and hair grease, and I'll see you next Sunday at 8.